speechless.
I don't know what to ask you.
If that's your kink, I'm so happy for you.
I will throw my old Kindle across the room because I'm not doing that again.
And now, here are your hosts.
Hello, fellow bookworms. Welcome to Bookmark Your Next Chapter, a podcast hosted by Katie,
Amanda,
Kristen.
three friends who love books. In this episode, we will be covering chapters 1 through 23 of the book From Blood and Ash, the first book of the Blood and Ash series.
Before we get into this episode, we just want to make note that this episode will be rated R. We will be mentioning explicit content, using explicit language, so just be mindful of who is listening to this podcast with you.
So we'll kind of just give you guys a rundown of what this is going to look like. First off, we're not going to have any spoilers outside of these chapters. We have not read past these chapters, so you don't have to worry about us spoiling anything.
It'll be impossible, exactly.
Yes, we literally can't because we don't know. So we're kind of just this is gonna be more of like a conversation-based podcast. So like, we each read the books individually. We each have notes. Well, Amanda didn't take notes.
Looking at my blank page here.
But Kristen and I took notes.
In all fairness, I was driving and I didn't realize.
Listening at 2 times speed.
Yeah, and Katie was like, you could like do verbally notes. So next chapter, I'll be on top of it. Just so you all know.
2 of the 3 of us have notes. Amanda's just along for the ride. No, just kidding.
Literally, that's why I'm here. Just ignore me.
So we're just gonna kind of go through the chapters, say what we're thinking, like talk about possible theories of what might be happening, what to expect, theories, all of the things. So I think we'll just kind of jump into it. There's not really a transition here. So chapter 1, this book starts. What are your guys' first thoughts? What did you think?
I was thinking, wow, we're getting into the hanky-panky right at the beginning. I remember, because you guys were both like, oh, like, I cannot wait for Amanda. Because it didn't really get there. You know what I mean? It was like a little, like she was in the room, right? Was it the first chapter when she was in the room with Hawk?
I think that's the second chapter.
And he didn't know that was her? Or
Yeah,
was that
so
was chapter
literally
2?
my first note of chapter 2, are we getting Spice already?
Yes. Literally, that's what I'm saying. I was like, wow, this is early. We're going in it. But, so the first chapter then would have just been the description of her being in that tavern or whatever it was called.
Yes.
The Red Pearl?
The Red Pearl. Yeah.
Okay.
So these are my notes. The chapter 1, I didn't have many notes. My first thought, which literally neither of you will know because Kristen doesn't listen to audiobooks and Amanda's never read the story, but it's the same narrator as the Silver Flames from the ACOTAR series, and I love her, so I was like, okay, I'm on board.
that helps. Right?
Literally my first note. And then the other thing was she kept talking about the maiden, like as if we're supposed to know who this is.
Yep.
And I was like, oh, this is going to be one of those books where we're like learning as we go. I'm like, I have no idea what this means. So that's literally the extent of my notes for chapter 1.
I wrote so much. I want to know more about everyone.
So I'm getting memories of the first chapter so I can comment on my no notes that I have here. But I remember thinking, because you were saying, like, maybe I might listen to the first half again.
Yeah.
And I started doing that, and then I was like, there's no way I'm going to get this done. But
yeah, same.
It was interesting when I started, though. I did listen to, like, the first few minutes of the first chapter, and the first time I listened to it, the very first thing she's saying is, she's at this table playing cards or poker of some sort, gambling, and, like, oh, I could sense no sadness or feelings or whatever, and I only took that as like surface level, like, oh, they just didn't seem upset. But now knowing more, it was interesting that she was actually speaking upon like the gift that she had and actually being able to reach out. So I thought that was kind of just an interesting coming in the first time, you just really didn't realize, right?
Yes.
And now listening to it again, it's more than just like the intuition she was having, it was actual something beyond that. So that was kind of interesting, I felt.
I find this format of writing interesting because, like, I mean, you guys know me, I reread Harry Potter too many times. I think we covered that in the intro. But, like, as a kid, that was my first real book series that I read. That's my first character development that I ever really experienced. That's my first series I ever read. So I kind of always just compare back to that. Yeah. And, like, I can remember reading Harry Potter and being like, when you reread it, you're like, I know all this. Why are you explaining all this? Like, I know this. I would have loved to have read this book as if, like, we already knew all the rules to the Wizarding World. And so, like, that's kind of what this is. Like,
Yeah.
we're supposed to just know, and we're learning as we go, and I'm like, this is a very different reading experience.
Yeah, it is. You're right.
It kind of keeps you intrigued the whole time,
but they
right?
talk as if you know. And
Yes.
it's like, but now I don't know and I want to know.
Right, and
So...
I'm like, I need to find out what's
feel like
happening.
I've read so many books where, like, you don't know. Like, you're just coming in and there's all this world building that's happening.
already happening in front of you.
Yeah,
kind
so,
of.
like, this isn't... That's
is
not
normal. It's
odd
not
for
new to
me.
you.
I'm
Yeah,
like, this is... It makes me more like, okay, what's happening here? Like, I have so many notes where I'm like, if this isn't happening like this, I think this might happen.
You're like piecing together
Yes,
the worlds.
I'm piecing it all together.
cool.
Like, that's how...
So, chapter 1, is that when she is watching, because I didn't write this part down, is that when she's watching the girl on the table? Is that in this first chapter, or is
I
that
think so,
coming into
yes.
the...
And I think as well, the lady that tells her to go upstairs and hide in that room, I think this is also in the first chapter.
Yeah, I think it's all in the first
She really
chapter.
stood out to me in the sense of, like, that's when my theory started. I was like, is she bad? Is she good?
Yes.
Like, this is one thing I can't remember. I think that they had already started talking about dissenters and things prior to her talking to that lady. I think because they were talking about around the table that the people that were killed or somebody lost their life, and I already felt at that moment either she's one of those bad people or she, like, I was already thinking to myself,
yeah.
like,
Really?
are her intentions good or not, kind of thing. So I
Interesting.
still think that something is going to come back with that specific lady.
Yeah.
But who knows?
Okay, all right. So chapter 2, we were already getting spicy. This was when...
Not really.
Well...
It was like, was it going to get
It was PG
spicier?
spice, but it was hinting at there was going to be
Yeah,
more.
I thought it was going to continue, but then it stopped.
It's like, there's no way.
So, see, and this is my notes started out very poor, so, like, stay with us, friends. I promise they get more detailed as we go.
We don't have much to make notes on.
But, so, chapter 2, the spice that's happening, is she already in the room at this point in chapter 2?
Yes, I think so. I think
She
it
looks,
kind of ends right when...
Chapter 2, I have it on my laptop
Oh,
here.
perfect. Okay.
Starts off with, caught off guard, I look up, a mistake that Victor had taught me to never to make. And that's when we see
The person is
the
there.
person.
Okay.
The person.
The person.
Dun, dun,
And
dun.
do we find out his name? Did I write this down?
Yes, we
yes,
do.
we did. Okay,
Like,
because it's my
literally in
second
the next,
note.
yeah.
Okay. Okay, so then my next thing was, I was curious why he was so sad, because she was sensing, like, this deep sadness and stuff from him, right? And so I guess looking forward to where we've read up to this point, we know now, but do we think that that's all it is? Because isn't it...
I think there's more to it. I think that we have not yet gotten to the...
Because his brother's not actually dead.
Exactly. And we don't know what happened.
Okay, I have theories about that, but we'll talk about that in a little
And we
bit.
don't know about his parents. Like, I think there's where he comes from. I mean, we know, like, the location, but, like, we really don't know anything about his history.
Yeah.
I think that there's going to be more to his
There's definitely
sadness.
Okay. So that was one thing I was worried about. And then I kept saying, what is the maiden? Because she keeps talking about, like... And I honestly, to this point, chapter 23, I'm not still entirely convinced I know what that is. Like... I understand it as like a person that's been gifted to the gods and that they're promised to the gods. But then they also talk about like her lady's maid who's also going to be ascended. And I'm like, what is the difference between her ascension and their ascension?
I think the maiden is like the ultimate form. The way I've
there's
read
only been
it,
two, right?
Yeah, I've read
Her
it as
being
like
the
the
second one.
ultimate form of like purity.
Okay.
Is how I've like viewed it. Like she's like given
because
to
she's
the
not allowed to
gods.
marry. Like I kind of picture like a nun. Like she's not allowed
Yes,
to marry.
exactly.
She has to cover her
Kind of
face.
is,
and
like,
she has to
similar to
wear
that.
Okay.
white.
Yeah.
She can't even talk to anybody.
No.
Like it's supposed to be like innocent, like demure, like all of that.
And like she'll never be able to marry. She'll never be able to have a relationship. Like
Yeah.
nothing ever. Like
Yeah.
even after she ascends. Correct.
Yeah.
I
I
can't
think so.
decide though, like the rules of her not being able to speak to other people and be social, is that a maiden rule or is that just the Dutch and Duchess's rule for her? Did the last maiden talk to other people and they've put these rules in place so that doesn't happen again?
Because they do say like the other maiden,
Messed
the
up.
first maiden made mistakes, and that's why like she got taken. I don't remember the exact wording by the Dark
right.
One.
Yeah.
So, but like, do you think that those rules of not speaking is just the Duke and Duchess
Making
putting that
those
on her?
rules?
Or do you
I
think like the
wouldn't.
Queen and all of that is like, yes, this is the God's rules?
I
Like, I
wouldn't.
don't know.
I wouldn't be surprised because like I wrote a few notes about like how I'm very suspicious of the Duke and Duchess. Like
Same.
I'm not
Yeah.
even sure like the Dark One is like actually evil. Like
My theory.
Same.
because I'm like this is like too like it's too
Same.
It's too
fact.
black and white
Yes,
from the very
exactly.
beginning. I'm
Yes.
like,
These are bad, these
sus!
are good. I'm like, mm-mm.
and like it feels too like brainwashy. Like no, you
Yeah.
have to follow
Yeah.
our rules. You have to give us your
Agreed.
children. Like
Yeah.
it's too like we are enforcing this upon you. You don't have a choice.
And like, I think her
and like, what
whole
are they scared
arc,
of you're gonna uncover?
Yes.
right? And her whole arc is going to be uncovering the truth.
I think so too.
Yeah. So we're all in agreement on that.
I started writing theories about like the cover too. Like,
oh yeah,
yeah.
Well, do you want to describe?
I have them at the end of my notes.
Okay, all right, we'll cover those at the
We
end.
can get to the end.
Okay. Does anyone have anything else they want to comment on chapter 2?
In the specifics of chapter 2? No, I don't think so.
So essentially what's happened up to this point is the lady, who we don't know is good or bad, has sent her upstairs to this room. Does she know that Hawk is in this room? We don't know. She goes up into the room. Hawk is in there. He thinks she's someone else.
I just got a random theory that popped into my head.
Say
Can
it.
I bring it
Spill
up?
it, girl.
But it might spell like some future stuff, but
That's okay. We told our readers, our listeners, that up until 23 is on the table.
so I feel that one of my theories, I have many things that I think, but I
same.
think that Hawk is in the know. I think that he
Yes.
knows
Same.
that the Dark One
Same.
I think he knows that the Dark One isn't bad.
Yep.
I think that maybe he works directly with the Dark One. Maybe
Yep.
he is the Dark One. I don't know. But because of this, now I'm wondering if that lady
the one that
also
was
knew
downstairs
this.
in the pub.
Yes.
Yes.
And knew that she was, well, she didn't know she was a maiden. I think she made that comment when they were
she
talking.
did. She knew it was the maiden.
And that,
because she's like, the maiden has graced me with her presence.
right? So maybe she is also a part of the dissenters or whatever they're called.
Yeah.
And purposely sent her up there because she knew
Knowing
she
Hawk
needed
was
to
in
meet
there.
Hawk.
Yeah.
But then I don't know if Hawk knew at that, well, I don't think he did, right? That
No,
he was
he
the
didn't
maiden.
know. It didn't sound
but
like
she, but the thing is, if Hawk is a part of the bad guys, but not actually the bad guys, and then that lady is, wouldn't immediately after they would have had some sort of conversation, because he seemed to still not know that was a maiden. Had they had a conversation, he would have known shortly after, oh my god, I was just with the maiden.
I don't know if
I
the
don't
lady
know,
would have
but-
said that, because that lady almost feels like a fortune teller. Like,
Almost.
she kind of sets the scene. So I can
Maybe.
see her, like, not saying something, because that's intervening. Like, she
To,
intervened
like,
by
what is supposed
getting...
to happen.
Like,
Yeah.
she
The
knows
purpose.
to push her onto the path,
Yes.
but
Yeah.
she can't
She can't
intervene.
touch
That's
the path.
interesting.
Oh, that's
So,
an
but that
interesting
kind of
just
just
thought of
popped
that,
into
yeah.
my head that maybe they're both, you know, that happened because she knew that was a maiden. She knew that Hawk is on the right side, which we think is the wrong side, and that was like the first step of somehow introducing them.
Interesting. I like that theory of her being like ethereal. Like that. I like that.
And maybe whatever happened to Hawk for him to be so upset that day has some relevance to needing to meet the maiden too. Like maybe something happened with like the darkness or the dissenters or something, and he was really feeling defeated that we were never going to bring the truth to light, and then voila, the maiden like walks into my life without me even knowing.
Interesting.
Okay, I like where we're going with this.
I know, I
Okay.
like that theory we just came up with.
I like this.
Right.
Okay, all right. So we're gonna jump to chapter 3. So my very first note was, what does ascension mean? There's a lot
They
of
talk
questions.
about it like you know what it is, right? It's,
Yeah.
It's,
Yeah.
Did we even, like...
but at this
Oh,
point, do
okay, never mind.
you feel like you know what ascension means, or like? I mean,
Like-
I guess we don't really know now, but
We don't know, but from what I've gathered in my brain is that it's like, kind of like a graduation, and they go to this.
They turn into a vampire.
Honestly, wrote that down.
you think that?
Like, okay, I knew
when you
nothing
say
going
vampire,
into this
do
book.
you mean the
Like blood-sucking vampire.
No,
Yes.
but what do they call
Craven?
Yeah, is that what Craven? Do you
Literally
call
what
Craven
I
vampire,
wrote.
right?
Yeah, Craven or vampire, and
Interchangeable, like same thing, or
Yes,
are those
I
two
think,
different things too?
No, I think they're the same thing,
Okay,
but I think
same.
like Craven, like I think it depends on the blood they intake or how much blood they intake. Like
If they become good or bad, you
yeah,
mean?
like if you like throwing Twilight out there, like you have they just eat like animal blood, and so like
Interesting.
their eyes change color? I haven't read.
I haven't read it in a hot minute, but I think their eyes are gold, right?
Yes, so but like
Yes.
they have different. And then their eyes are gold because
And
then
then
the
they're
other ones
red.
are red when they
Yeah.
drink human blood.
Yeah.
Like I think it depends on like the blood that they take in.
Interesting.
Okay,
I did
if-
think vampire vibes too.
Because
If
I
didn't
never-
at all. This is like
Oh, really?
Not at all.
See,
I
this
didn't
is what
think
I love about
This is
this.
so interesting. But now that you say this, okay, this is jumping way ahead. And I think that the book made me think this way. It probably wants me to, but I can't remember what the guy's name is. But the guy that she is now suspicious of that killed
Oh, it
whatever.
starts with an M.
Mazine.
Mazine.
Yeah, so
yes.
he
M-A-Z-E-N.
clearly is a Craven, or we are led to believe that. I feel like he's a
Yes.
Craven. So if you ascend, that means you become a Craven, let's say, but they don't want people to know that's what you become. So maybe it's this lie that people, they don't know.
So-
But does that mean Cravens, if we're going to go with the theory that the darkness is bad, but is good, okay? They think the dark one is
dark
bad,
one.
Yeah.
The dark one.
but we're going to say that they're good. Let's just, in this theory.
Yeah.
And they also say the Craven is bad. But I think the Craven is bad and is bad.
Yes.
And that the darkness is bad but is good. Right?
Like maybe there's different
so
things.
Are they ascending, thinking they're becoming good?
But
Reality,
really
they're becoming bad.
Because there's no notes. There's no history notes on what happens
Right?
when you're ascended, especially if you're the maiden.
So it's probably bad for her to ascend.
Mm-hmm.
And because then she's going to turn into the Cravens. The Dark One wants her because they don't want this happening. So
Right.
it happened to the last maiden. And it's going to repeat itself over and over until the maiden truly is enlightened. And like, what are the gods? Like, who? Like,
Who indeed? You look like you had thoughts, Kristen.
I kind of lost them. These are all notes that I've had from chapter 4 to 6. I think we're on chapter 3, and I didn't.
Chapter
really
3,
read,
yeah, that's
I
okay.
didn't write any notes on
That's
chapter
okay.
3, but like I had like one specific quote. Like, do you want me to wait until chapter 6?
No, go ahead.
Okay.
Yep, I'm just reading my notes.
Like in chapter 6, my first note was a quote. It didn't look like a Craven bite. End quote. Which is I'm like vampire done. And I wrote like an arrow, and I'm like, are ascended a bit different version of Craven. Like, their bites are different.
You're right, and she was theorizing to that one lady, right?
The Ascended have black eyes.
Yes, that was what I was going to say, too. They have black eyes.
So then I was, like, curious about Mason and, like, what's with the lessons.
And,
but,
okay.
Like,
What color's his eyes? Does it say?
they
They would be black. He's Ascended, right?
Yeah, he's
I think
Ascended. They're black.
I think it's,
Because she's just looking into his dark eyes. Like,
Yeah.
she says
And does
stuff
it
like
talk
that.
about what color Craven's eyes are? Are they also black, or we don't know that?
I don't know if we know that.
I don't know if we know that. Can you
and
find and search
Atlantean
on
is
your
the other
Kindle?
thing.
Yeah, I can search on here, too.
Okay, perfect.
I lie. I don't think he's a Craven. I think he's an Atlantean.
Yes,
Sorry.
that's okay.
Yes.
So
Sorry,
I want to
I'm
jump
getting
back
confused.
because we are getting ahead. I just
And
want
you
to...
said Ascension.
Yes.
I think, and like be like, no, if not. But when you said what is Ascension, I almost think that we should. You tell us exactly what you think Ascension is. And then, Kristen, what is your interpretation of Ascension? What's my interpretation of Ascension? And then the Cravens and Atlanteans and words I think that aren't normal words that the book has. At some point, I think we could bring up our take on that. But sorry to interrupt you.
No.
Continue.
So I basically all I was saying was that, like from what we had read up to this point, I think that Ascension is kind of like a graduation, and it's supposed to be looked at as a good thing. But in my head, I'm thinking, if it's a good thing, why is there no documentation as to what happens? Like, what happens to the people? Like, has she even spoken to her brother since he was ascended? Like, I feel
don't
like
think
No.
so.
I feel like she
Because
hasn't.
she misses him.
But are people
Right.
allowed to? Do other people talk? Well,
But
they
why?
have to.
Why wouldn't you be allowed to? Is my question.
Yeah.
So like something
Because, like,
sketchy.
she's
is
not
going on.
Ascended, but she can
No.
talk to, like, Mazine,
Right.
right?
Sorry, I just got another thing.
So my thought was that Ascension is like, they view it as like a sort of graduation. There's this big ceremony. Everyone goes and they're either given to the gods or whatever happens during Ascension. I don't know. But to me, my theory is that it's going to be that they are turned bad. They are...
Unknowingly, right? Or-
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. So they, like, I don't know if it's like a vampire attack or like Craven, whatever the bad guy is.
Can I tell you what I think that might be
Yes.
that just popped into
Yes,
my head?
yes.
You know how your second or third born, whatever, has to go to the gods?
Yes.
Maybe the blood of the innocent powers ascension, and who has the most innocent blood? Newborn babies.
But are they always
So-
babies when they're given? Like, I know
Yeah.
the one in the story was.
Are they not? I think they always are. They're your firstborn after 3 months old or something
Is
like
it
that.
always 3 months
I
old, or
think
was it
there
just
was
that
a
case?
there was a thing that said in there how old.
Because she lived with her parents until she was like 6 when they died. Like,
Yeah, but she wasn't.
But she wasn't third or
born.
fourth.
but she was the second daughter.
But I think they get to keep the first and second.
Yeah, it's the third
and the
fourth.
third and the
third
fourth.
son. But what was it with daughter?
Nothing, I don't think.
I was. It says
Unless-
something about the daughter.
I thought that.
I thought it was
oh no,
second.
they're the maiden in wait, maybe, or something like that.
I think it had
Whatever
something to
that-
do with her mom.
Because-
why she was kept.
Because the mom was supposed to be ascended, and she asked if she could not be. And she was the only time in history that permission was given, that she didn't have to be ascended. So her mom never did go through with ascension. So her mom is essentially a commoner.
But then we do go through the theory that, like, the Duke, like, there's something with the Duke and her mother.
mom,
Yeah.
Like, I think the exception for her, and I think, like, she was known to be the maiden, like, from a young age, and that's probably why she was different.
Because in my head, I'm thinking, if you were like the top of people that are going to be given to the gods, why would you be different than the third born son? You know what I mean? Like, so I don't know. Again, we're
that's
still
fair.
learning as
Of
we
course.
go, right? Is there any more notes that you guys had from chapter 3? I feel like that's
I got
all I
none.
pretty much had. It was talking about giving to the gods and ascension and whatever. Okay, so chapter 4, my first note says, does the handkerchief mean that they want them to kill the cursed? So this, I should have wrote this down, but this is when she's going to use her gift to kill the guy that came back.
Turning into a Craven. Or
Yeah,
something.
he had been bitten by a Craven, correct? And there was a handkerchief on the door on the
Oh
outside.
yes.
So
I think
is
was
that how
my,
they tell
they
people.
tell the
Probably.
network that we need your help, basically.
I didn't even write that down. I didn't notice that.
So I wrote that down because I was thinking, like, sock on the door, don't interrupt.
Oh my god, that is so funny. No, we just need your help murdering someone, because if not, they'll kill everybody.
I'm like,
else.
is this like their way of secretly messaging a message to someone? Was
I
where my
think
brain
that
went.
is the case.
Yeah.
Okay. And so then my next note, so this is when I'm already getting into like vampires thoughts, and this is before they bite, but I was like, do they turn like into like a werewolf or a vampire? Like what does this cursed bite mean?
Yeah.
So like I was
They turn
already
into
going
a
in that.
Craven, or no?
They do
Yeah.
Okay.
if they're not killed first.
If they're not killed.
So essentially when they kill them, they're giving them a decent death instead of...
Yeah.
Because if the public were to find out that they
Then
were
they
bitten,
would be,
they're
like,
publicly
publicly
executed.
Yeah.
So it's like a decent way of dying.
And I
not
imagine there
turning
might be like
craven.
some like I wonder if there's like some shame on the family.
Yeah.
Like
For sure.
your...
I think that the Duke kind of alluded to that.
yeah, like you
almost.
should be... Yeah.
So, correct me if I'm wrong. In your thoughts, Craven and vampire are the same thing, or are those two separate things to you?
I
There's
go
Cravens
back and forth.
and there's vampires, or you think that that's the same thing? They're just calling a vampire Craven.
I go back and forth. Sometimes when I'm reading it, see,
They feel similar.
I'm gonna warn y'all now. My crackpot theories,
It's
they
okay.
don't
They're the
correlate
best.
with each other.
That's okay.
They just the first thing that come out of
That's
my
okay.
head. So
and then Atlantean
sometimes-
too is where does that fall in? Because
Exactly.
they also suck the blood out very clean. And
Yes. So I don't know if it's like they're the same thing and there's a good version and a bad version of it, or they're two different things and we just don't know.
or maybe there's
the
good
difference.
Atlanteans and bad Atlanteans, and
True.
good Cravens and bad Cravens.
I
Like,
think they're like versions of each other. Like dog breeds. They're all
Yeah.
dogs,
Right.
But you have like a husky and like
A pit bull and a chihuahua.
yeah.
pickle. I love how you threw that dog breed in there.
Pit bull.
I was just trying to think of a really big dog.
I
and a
was
really
like,
small dog.
pickle. That's not even
Oh, sorry, pit
No,
bull.
that's on me. Oh my god.
Oh my goodness. Okay, so then my next
Interesting.
note I wrote is Poppy, like the girl who lived, was she attacked and survived? So this is kind of when we kind of hear the intro to her story, correct? Like how
Yes.
she remembers them coming in and she remembers extreme pain when,
Okay, yes.
when she was bit. And I think it was her thigh and her face.
Her arm too. She mentions
And her arm, too?
Yeah.
I think her abdomen is
all over.
everywhere.
So literally my mind instantly went to, oh my god, Voldemort attacked and he lived. Like,
Right? Yeah. Honestly, that
so
is exactly
funny how
what
you
happened,
compare
though.
everything to Harry
I'm
Potter.
sorry, Fred.
It
Like
actually
I
is
never
hilarious.
like I do compare to other books, but I compare to like a variety of other books.
See, my problem is until adulthood, I didn't read any other books.
That's-
It
Well,
was,
even I'm comparing
This
to
is
like
ingrained in you.
the Black
Literally.
Witch. Like in reading this, I think like Black Witch, or I think like another series that
Yeah.
I've read recently.
see, that's probably how normal brain works. I
I
don't have one
didn't
of those.
once think about like
Comparing them.
Voldemort. But it's very
So it's just
but
fake.
no, but what's interesting though, it is so similar.
Yeah.
The bad whatever it is
Yeah.
came in, probably wanted to kill her
Yeah.
because she's the maiden, the chosen one, the blah blah blah. Parents dead.
Yeah.
Somebody found her there, brings her in, raised
Right.
her in a family that doesn't freaking like her.
Can
and
I,
Right?
she's
can I
being
throw
abused.
in something?
Yeah.
Do we actually know that it was the Dark One that did that?
No,
We
I don't
don't.
think it was. I don't think it was.
I think there's
Like
I
we're
think that's
talking
what
like
they're-
it was.
No.
But maybe it
we're
was the
saying
Duke.
we're saying the actual bad people.
Oh, okay.
Not the people that were told are bad.
Okay.
Sorry, let me clarify.
Yeah.
No, I think we're being led to believe that the dark one, quote unquote, is the bad guy, but I don't
Yes.
think he's going to be.
I agree.
I really
think
don't think
whoever
so.
attacked her and her parents, it was a planned attack.
I think it was like the Duke and Duchess.
Yes, or
I think I
someone
wrote that somewhere.
or someone
But
on
you
their
know what's
side.
Yes.
Weird. If it is the Duke and Duchess, like they could have easily killed her so many times and made it look like an accident at this point. So what would be the
I
reason
think
for
they
them
need
not
her
to
for
do
something.
Yeah.
They probably need her for, or maybe
Yeah.
because she is the maiden, she's been kept pure.
Yeah.
Quote unquote.
that for some reason that we don't know
That
yet?
that might
right?
be like the pure blood that they need.
maybe.
Yeah.
That's true.
Raising a pig for slaughter, like Snape would say. Just saying.
Right? Oh my god. But now I'm not going to be able to not see this.
I'm sorry. My brain is broken. Also, I think we need to just say right now, because yes, I'm a huge Harry Potter fan, but we do not mention her.
She who must not be named.
Yeah, we don't like her, what she stands for. So let's just, I'm a good person, I promise. I just really like Harry Potter. I feel like that needs to be mentioned. Okay, anyway, moving on. Okay, so then I started writing, can she calm people with her power? So I think this is the first time we saw her powers get used,
Yes.
correct? And so she's kind of like calming down the guy that's dying and the wife, and like, I don't understand how that works, because like she's like thinking thoughts in her head, like calming
And
thoughts.
she's putting them in their head.
Yeah, that's like, can they see what she's thinking? Or
I
do they
think
just
it's like
sense
a
the energy?
transfer of
Feeling
energy.
somehow.
I always
Okay.
took it as like a transfer of energy. Like, I'm pushing this onto you. Like, if you get anxious, you can, like, I can get anxious because you're getting anxious, right?
Right,
Like,
right.
that's like
I think that too. It's just feeling. They're not visualizing anything.
But
I
she's
don't
able
think...
to actually like push it
But
out.
she's able to
Yes.
push that like onto someone.
Yes.
Okay.
But she also can take it on, not on purpose. Like in large crowds, it seems that
Yes,
like, she
and
can-
she's like losing control of like her
Yes.
wall that she built
to
or
protect
whatever.
her from the opposite thing happening.
Yes.
Okay, so this was the first time that we saw that, and she does it to the wife first, correct? And then
Yes,
she goes in
yes.
and deals
Yeah,
with.
I think so.
Now,
It
when
was so long ago that I read this. Now I'm like, yes, that's what happened.
when I was reading this, I was kind of surprised that she was the one going to talk to the dead guy, or the guy that was dying. Sorry.
Because like, what if he attacked her? What if he?
Yeah,
like, the
and
danger
like
of it?
that she was left alone, and like that she was the one that was going to kill him. I was kind of surprised, but now I'm wondering, is that how they always do it? Like he kind of distracts the family and keeps the family calm, and then she goes and does the thing.
I wonder, because like
kind of
the
an
other thought
interesting-
too is like, if he knows he's dying and he sees like a guard like Victor is,
Right.
would that then increase his anxiety? Whereas like this innocent girl can come and be like, hey, like everything's okay, like easily calm that fear, instead of like,
could
I wonder if
she-
there's like because he's turning craven, like is there this like fight or flight instinct where if he sees someone that might
Is
fight
threatening?
him, there's that threat and that kicks in.
That's possible.
And she also tells him that she is the maiden, correct? Like he knows this
That's
when
kind
he
of
dies.
interesting too. Like the straight up truth and honesty in
Yeah.
the last
Yeah.
moments of,
Because like she's kind of looked at as like a gift from above.
She is, yeah.
right? So like when
especially to the people in these networks, like,
Right.
that have heard the
right.
rumors, right?
So when she tells them who she is, that also
She does say, I am the maiden.
I thought so. Okay.
Yeah.
So she like brings on calm. Okay. So my next note, I said, do we think that there's going to be like a cure for the curse? Like, do we think that there is?
like to
No.
the Craven taking over somebody's.
I don't think so.
You don't.
I've
Think
never thought
considered
about it, though.
I've never considered it to be
because
honest
I
with
think
you.
Victor's going to be attacked. That's my theory, and I'm going to frickin' heartbroken
So
about it.
I wrote, this
I
must have
don't
been, I
want
don't know if
that
this
to
at the beginning,
No.
but I wrote for 4, if Hawk is a love interest, he is or will be a Craven.
I think so. I think he's an Atlantean or something.
I think
For
he's
sure he is.
Atlantean.
I
Yeah.
think so.
Whether
But
those
I
are
had
same
like the
thing, I
theory
don't
here,
know.
like that he's the Craven.
That early, which
Yeah.
is crazy.
Because I'm like, well, like,
And I think they're setting us up for heartbreak. I really think that
even
Victor's
like,
going to die.
like,
The who? Victor?
yeah,
Victor.
Victor.
I never really even considered it. Well, except for when they were like in that battle, I kind of thought
They
like maybe
always-
she'll see him die, and that would be heartbreaking.
Like, a main character always loses their father
Always.
figure.
what if?
Or parental figure.
Let's think about this.
And that's how she views Victor
Yes,
as
he's
her
like her
dad.
father.
Yeah.
And she's like the daughter he never had,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. And do we know why he didn't have children? Is that ever talked about? Like was he not able to? I think I made a note about that somewhere.
I don't remember.
I have no idea. I don't know if it really got into it much, or if it did, I did not.
Yeah, I
touch
didn't.
onto
I
it
don't
at
think I
all.
wrote notes
Okay.
about that at
Well,
all.
we'll find out as I go, I guess. Okay.
Is he married? Does he have a wife? Like,
No.
what is any of his family really?
But
There's
he's like
nothing-
40-ish from her readings, right? So like I don't know. I feel like I remember reading something. I don't know. It'll be in here if it is because I wrote down
yeah.
most of my thoughts.
I was like, I feel like you wrote down so much.
I know there's a lot. I'm sorry.
No, it's good because we. Have nothing.
Okay, so then I think I already discussed this, but I said when she touches the person, can they see what she is seeing? But we don't
Yeah,
think so.
I don't think
I think
so.
it's just.
I think it's just
feeling.
the pushing of the emotion.
So she thinks those things to calm herself and then
just
pushes that
even
out.
like when it comes turned on her, right? She doesn't see violence in her
True,
head.
true.
She just feels it.
the emotion.
But I don't
That
think
emotion
she
gets
calms
pushed into
herself
her.
to calm other people. I think she can push calm on someone else even if she's not feeling calm.
But like
I could be wrong.
like she's thinking about the calm thoughts because that's what she wants to push.
yes,
Is
yes,
that
yes,
right?
I
Okay.
think so.
Okay. So then I said, "Oh fuck! There's another guy who was attacked, and we don't know who it was." So this is the guy that was out with this dude,
Your
right?
notes. Oh my god.
Yeah, I cursed in my notes too.
That's
Sorry.
so funny.
There's going to be lots of F-bombs. Sorry. So this is when she's talking to the guy that's dying, and he says, "You should know about." I forget what I did.
I have no idea what we're talking about right now. The guy that's dying. Who are we talking about?
Okay,
right
so
now?
right now she's with the handkerchief on the door. She's gone into the
Ridley.
town.
Okay, this is the Craven guy that got bit.
What is his name? Do you know?
Ridley.
This is the
Ridley.
first time they did this.
Ridley's the
right?
one that
Yes.
got bitten that
Okay.
they didn't know about.
So Ridley. No, who was the guy? What's the name of the guy that was attacked?
Okay.
Does it ever say?
Marlowe?
Marlo. Okay, so she right now is in Marlo's room. Victor is out
with the second guy where he's like, oh,
Yes.
also my
Yes.
my friend or
so
whomever.
she's about to kill him, and he's like, wait, you should know. Like, there was also another guy. He wanted to say goodbye to his dad.
Yeah.
Blah blah blah. He
And
lives
they're
at this
like, oh,
house.
no.
Like,
Yeah.
gives the specific house.
It does.
And then I
I
was
feel
like,
like it was anticlimactic though, because it made it seem like this could be terrible. His whole hot
I
home,
think
and
it's
they got there.
foreshadowing.
Oh, they already killed him.
yeah, I think.
Do you
it's
think it's foreshadowing, like the Duchess and them, Duke, had
don't
done
know.
something, or but it's foreshadowing to something?
I feel like it's leading to
because it was
something.
very
Yes,
anticlimactic.
it
Because it was
was.
like, oh my god, all these people
it-
are going to be turned. Oh, they're already taken care of. So why did we even bring
It
this up?
could also be foreshadowing to like how the Craven get in. Was he a part of that? Like, did they get to him in time?
Yeah.
Is that how they had an easier time
Or is
getting in?
the dad that ended up killing his son, is he actually a good guy and he didn't actually kill his son and his son is a good guy now? Thoughts?
Or even if the Craven we say isn't good, maybe his dad didn't want to kill his son, so he
Right.
lied and he
Yeah.
was like, "Let's get you out of
I
here."
just feel like that's not the end of that. I feel like that's, like
'Cause it
you
was
said,
very
there was
strange,
a build up
yeah.
to it and you're kind of
right.
like, oh shit, and then nothing.
I just moved on. I'm like, "Oh, okay, guess that's it."
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I literally just moved on. I'm like, okay, bye.
So that
Interesting.
Not important.
my next note goes, oh shit, she just straight up killed him.
I was kind of surprised by that. Like, it was just straight up
It was
murder.
so sudden.
fake,
And
like,
she's like, okay, move about my day.
Yeah.
Like,
all right, hopefully we can get back for tea.
I feel like emotionally, like, not as like I was just like, okay, that's it.
no, but I was like, are they going to describe how this happens, or is she just going to, like, cut scene to her coming out of the room? It's done. Like,
And there wasn't like, let's say a few words. Yeah, it was
Yeah,
just
but I
like,
wonder-
done.
dead to the heart.
Well, she does say like May ran or whatever it is.
And I think we
escort
should-
you to paradise.
Oh yeah, the god, right?
Yeah, the
and I wrote
god.
down all the gods' names at some point.
I was like, I need a god chart.
I got it.
But I wonder if like we heard about how he got killed, like how she ended his life, because that's going to come in handy
Later.
in the future.
Is it a bloodstone? Is that what
I think you're right. Her
blade is
blade,
called?
yeah, it was a very specific something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bloodstone.
And do you think that Hawk noticed that when he saw her blade the very
He
first
did.
He
time?
did.
he
He
comment
did.
about it
Because he
being-
makes a comment on it when they're in the room together. He's like, oh, bloodstone, that must have cost a fortune.
Yeah.
But he didn't comment on it specifically
No.
being what needs to kill
No, but
Kraven.
I
But
I
you were
think
like,
inside his head, he's like,
that could kill me, bitch.
yeah. Or she's could be one of the good guys because she knows. Like, I think
So
there's-
he felt safe with her knowing that you had something.
Yeah, like I don't know. I just feel like I said, my theories don't always align, but I think there's
Interesting.
something to
Yeah.
that. And then my last note on chapter 4 was just what happens if everyone else gets attacked. So is that going to be like a massive like werewolf outbreak where everyone's now infected? And then we cut scene. We go to the next chapter, and my note is, oh my god, the poor father had to kill his son, with a bunch of crying about
So we are told.
Yes.
Or so we are told.
I didn't even think that was noteworthy.
That is so funny.
Oh, I was pretty sad about it.
I feel like I need to be making more notes.
Yeah, I probably.
Yeah, me
See,
too.
my problem with my Amanda.
I have one note here that I made while we were talking.
She's scribbling on her little tablet while we're
Like a fancy
we're
pants.
talking because she
Put baby's blood, innocence, powers, ascension. That's all I have.
baby's blood. Okay, and then I said, who is this Lord Mazine? So this is obviously when Lord Mazine
I
enters.
also wrote curious.
He's the
about
bad
Mazine.
guy, right? The
So
guy
he's the one that
we
takes her into
think
the corner and like
murders that lady in that
Yeah.
room. Clearly,
Yes,
okay.
yes.
You might be like, I'm scrolling through the pages, but like, a year before my brother ascended, he bested Lord Mazine at a game of cards. So then, from there on, the Lord had sought to irritate both Ian and me whenever he got the chance. It only got worse once Ian ascended, and the Lord began to assist the Duke with his lessons.
Okay, so essentially, Mazine is pissed that he lost to
Yes.
a card
Her
game to his
brother.
brother and is taking it out on her. Is what we
Yes.
think up to this point.
Yes.
Yes.
What we're led to believe.
Yes.
So she's not. This must be where Mazine is talking. Yeah, Mazine is talking to her, and she's like, "I don't want to talk to you."
Yeah, and we're getting like major creepy vibes from
Yes.
him. Okay, so then I also wrote on here, do you become immortal when you ascend?
Yes.
So, which we find out later, essentially we do, right?
Basically.
But you could still
But
be
you
killed.
can still kill them.
But not in the way of a human would just
Yes,
get killed.
they don't
It's
die
like
of
a
old-
special something.
And there's no,
like-
like,
I don't think they're
illnesses.
technically immortal because I think they do die eventually of old age, but like it takes forever. Like it
Yeah.
just significantly.
It's not
expands
what you
their
would think in the
life.
life of a human.
Yes.
It's a totally different.
So I didn't write this down, but I just thought of this question now. So how many people get ascended like every
per
year.
Whatever.
Like,
per rise.
why is
When
there
does-
not like a bajillion people that are alive if they don't die very fast? You know what I mean? Like, why
Don't
is
they
not
all
a-
go somewhere? Do they go
I
to the
think only
capital?
the lords and ladies get to ascend.
But how many of those are there that get ascended?
And how does that get
Because
determined?
I feel like they're talking it like it as if there's a lot. Because there's like that whole party and stuff. That
Is that what
Yeah.
the rise is? Is the rise prior to an ascension? What's the rise?
no,
Even
the
that,
rise
I
is
don't-
like a
rise is
mountain.
Sorry, I'm saying the wrong thing. Oh my god, I am saying the wrong thing. The rite.
Yeah, the right.
The rite.
Is
Yes.
that
That's what
a
I look as like the graduation.
pre-ascension
Yes.
party? Or
Yes.
did people ascend? Not they didn't
I
ascend
assume
then.
the rite was
Or when they
they ascend. Like the rite is the party that then they ascend after.
Because I feel like
Isn't the
Because
right
that's
when
like
that
the rite of passage, you know.
isn't the
but
right?
nobody ascended in what we have experienced yet.
No.
Maybe it's still to come, but
But I don't.
I
Think
thought
the
the right
had
was something
ended.
different. I thought the right was when the commoners have to give up their kid. Because wasn't
maybe
that
that's
couple
what
there?
it is. Yes,
they're all-
that did
Oh,
happen.
yeah.
Because remember, they're like, "Oh, I wonder
So
if
it's
that
nothing
couple
to
was
do with
here."
ascension.
I don't
It's a
think-
separate thing.
I didn't think so when I read it. I thought it was something different.
Because I was
think
wondering
they're
if it's like a
related.
pre-ascension thing, like maybe because
Well,
she's
if you're-
close to her ascension time, right?
Yeah. If we're going off like your theory, like the innocent blood, and they're giving up their children,
To
they
then
need
power
to do
the
the right.
ascension.
Yeah, if they do the right, they give up their children, and then
The ascension happens.
happens.
Right.
But we don't know how long after.
I
at
agree
this
with
point.
that. But what I'm saying is, I don't think
They're ascending
Poppy is
there.
going through a rite.
No.
Like I think
No.
Manda was thinking that that's when.
Correct.
Oh, okay.
Like, was it when that
Like
was
the
happening?
right is when the ladies and lords are selected. That's not the case. That's
it
when
must
the
just be-
commoners give up their children. Correct.
I don't
It
know.
must be. I think so.
I don't think it's
you're-
clearly laid
I
out.
I don't
it's
think it's
clearly
clear, but
laid
I
out.
think that that's
Okay.
accurate from what we're led to believe.
and
it
so-
But like,
is.
then why are why is Poppy at the right then?
And why was this one she was allowed to go to, but normally she wasn't?
I don't know.
Right,
See,
it's
there's lots
so-
of questions.
So I think they're related somehow, but like
Yeah.
I don't know how.
Maybe because she's
I
think we're gonna
within
find out
a
in the next
year
few
of
chapters.
ascending, or because
I thought
her
she was
ascension-
ascending this year.
That's what I'm saying. Like because
Oh,
it's within
sorry.
her year of an ascension,
Sorry.
therefore,
I think it's. Didn't they mention it's the last one right
Before her,
I
think
ascension?
so. So
I
maybe-
think that's why she's allowed to go to it.
Sorry, I heard like within a year.
no, I don't
Like
even know what
not
I'm saying. to
you
be
said
honest.
like in the year of her ascension.
Got
I heard
you.
within the
Got
year. I'm like,
you.
no, it's
Yeah.
coming up.
so many unanswered.
Yeah, so many questions. This is why I love this, because we're going to all learn together, friends. Okay, so you don't become quote unquote immortal, but like you're pretty indestructible.
Darn
basically,
close. You're
yeah.
like the strongest of what could possibly exist.
Yeah.
Other than a god.
Is it just? Does it say that only Bloodstone can kill the Ascended as well?
I don't know if it calls that out specifically or if it just says that.
Or is that
there's
just my
certain...
theory in my head?
But I don't know if it might say that, but I think it more along the line says that not just anything can kill one, but that's maybe.
Maybe that was just my theory. Okay,
I feel
so
like
then
I thought it was wood or something. There's something else with bloodstone and something else, but I can't remember.
like that can kill the.
Yeah, sorry, that
okay.
can kill them.
So then I wrote
Only fire and bloodstone could kill the cursed.
the cursed,
Which is the
we're,
Craven.
We were talking about like the Ascended.
But
If
yeah,
we're assuming
they're
the
related.
Ascended
Oh,
are-
I see what you're saying. Like if our theory is
Yeah,
right,
yeah.
yes,
then there
okay.
may be some overlap.
So then I wrote down why are their eyes black after ascension? So I think this is when my vampire theory really started kicking
And
in.
she says that once you're ascended, she can't feel them anymore. Which
Yes,
I get.
and that
so
was
they're
another thing, too.
soulless almost.
Yes.
Like the essence that makes them human
Is gone.
or whatever. It's totally non-existent.
And do you remember when she has the meeting coming up in a few chapters
With
with
the
the
Duchess?
Duchess? And she's
Yes.
like, she's acting like scared. Like, can you sense my
Like as
whatever?
if there is something to sense.
Yes.
And she hasn't gotten to that point yet,
Yes.
which is very interesting.
So here's my theory. Can I give you one of my crackpot
Please.
theories? Okay. So my theories is that Craven, or whatever we find out the actual word for the bad person is, I think that when you become ascended, that's what you become. And I think that you're essentially a vampire. Like you said, you're a soulless. You're a walking body. And I think that the previous maiden, because the Duchess says something along the lines of like, you're following the path of the previous maiden, whatever. I think what happened is that only the maiden can like sense that they're bad and can figure out that they're bad and can tell the world they're bad. So that's why they want to turn her bad before she finds this out.
Yeah.
But the previous maiden was on to them, and they're the ones that killed her, not the Dark One.
or maybe she's not
theory.
dead.
I had that same theory because I think they
And the
thought
Dark
I just got
One-
goosebumps!
The dark one has her. I do too. And she's not dead, but they want everyone to believe she is because she's on the wrong side.
because I
And
don't think they specifically say she's dead. I
I
can't
think
remember.
they did. I think they did.
but I remember,
That she got herself killed or something like that. That made me think of.
or maybe I was
Harry
like, they
Potter.
lied. She's not dead. They're just saying she's dead. I had a thought where I'm like, I don't think she's dead.
Interesting. Okay. So I think we're kind of all on the same thoughts as far as that stuff. So I'm kind of interesting. Okay. So then I wrote, does Lord Mazine know about the kiss with Hawk? So when I was reading this, I'm like, is this going to be like one of the lessons? Like he knows that she was doing things she shouldn't have. I don't think so. Now that we know what we
But
knew.
there was the kind of part where it was like,
yeah,
possible.
like why is this happening now? Like, you know, so, but I think that point was mute. Okay. And then
Katie again, recording on my phone. Just wanted to insert a trigger warning. If you don't wish to hear this next part, we will be discussing the parts of the book that contain sexual violence, sexual assault, violence in general. You can skip ahead about 4 minutes if you don't want to hear this part. I just wanted to include that in here.
what the hell happens in these lessons? So I think now she's more hinting towards like, see, I thought she was getting like raped.
Same.
But that's what I thought was happening. I thought he was raping her, and I was like,
I thought that too. I'm like, she's the maiden. Like,
Yeah.
how is this? Is it okay because he's the dude?
But
or,
arguably, she's a maiden. How's it okay to beat her? Like,
Exactly.
same thing.
Yeah.
Like, really. I mean, it's not the same thing. Obviously,
like,
it's way worse.
yeah.
But still, like, clearly there's lines that this
Are being
guy is
crossed.
not afraid to
Yeah.
cross.
yeah. So that's where I was going with this. And then I said, he just pisses me off. Or no, sorry. He just pisses her off so that she will react and he can abuse her fucking ass.
Yeah, it's so true, though. It's
We already
so
don't
true.
like Lord Mazine.
I feel like... Actually, maybe not. I was going to say, I think I like him less than the Duke, but they're pretty much
Yeah,
par.
they're both pretty
Yeah.
shitty.
They are. I feel like Mazine takes like more pleasure from it though.
Yes, I agree.
I get very like, I get so much more creeped out by Mazine than
Agreed.
the Duke. Like, I don't like them either. Like, I don't like either of them, I should say. But like, Mazine gives me like an extra layer of like
he
creep.
seems to be doing it for his own like personal
Yes.
whatever pleasures gains, where the Duke, I think part of it has to do with the greater good of his evil, like he wanting to keep the whole secret in
Yes.
place. Like he has a bigger mission,
Yeah.
not just I'm a creepo, this isn't, I'm enjoying
Right.
this.
I think Lord Mazine just
Yeah,
gets
yeah,
off
yeah.
on it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So then my next note says, was someone attacked inside? So I think as this chapter ends, we hear the screaming and like someone runs out and her face is like bloodless because she's like freaked out, right?
Yeah.
Correct. Yes.
So what were you guys' thoughts at this point? Because I was freaking out.
At this point, I did not at all suspect him.
I didn't.
I don't know if you like.
I don't
it
want to
makes
say I
total
suspected
sense,
him
and
because
I'm-
now I do, and I don't know if I'm looking at that retrospectively.
Yeah.
But I was also like highly convenient that
It
we're
was
having this
strange
conversation
that he
with
was
him.
right there,
Yeah.
yes, but I never thought he was the one in the room that then came out. Like, I wish I had suspected that, but I didn't.
Because I thought, because if I'm trying to remember, I wish I would have re-listened to this. I had meant to, but life happens. What happens when she first sees him is he's coming out of the building, correct?
They're
And then-
in the building, I think. They're both
I thought
in
they were out in the garden.
They're like in a hallway, I thought, and the room was very close to this hallway. And then like they turned a corner, I think, and he was kind of just there because who was with them? Rylan at the
Yeah,
time.
Rylan. We made
Was
it
it him?
halfway past the long table when one of the many doors opened on
Okay.
either side. When one of the many doors on either side opened before us, Maiden, a wave of goosebumps spread over my skin.
So they are inside then at this point.
Yeah.
Okay, I think
I
just in my...
I thought they were outside too.
so
in
did
my
I.
head.
In my brain, I was picturing
So then, in
outside.
retrospect, he could have easily have come in out of that room, left the door wide open,
Yeah.
and then whoever
And
walked by
someone saw
first
it.
was the
Yeah.
scream.
Okay.
He clearly is capable of whatever he did to her.
Yeah.
Right?
Uh-huh.
Like,
Yeah.
and left her that way, so.
Yeah, I think I definitely think he did it, and I think it's just a matter of if the initial act was consensual before he attacked her,
Yeah.
or what.
Yeah.
Okay, so then we go into chapter 6, and I said, did someone rape her before they killed her? Because I think when she goes in and sees the body, like the skirt's kind of like pulled up, right?
Yes.
So like it's highly
Like, that's how it
insinuated.
ended.
Yeah.
Yes.
Or, like, killed during
If
the
it weren't for
process.
the state
Yes.
of her undress with so much flesh exposed.
Yes. Okay. And then I said, my guess is Lord Asshole.
That's so
So I
funny.
immediately
So you did think it was
suspected
him.
I guess I did, yeah.
That's funny.
And then I said, I explained myself. I explained my
Good.
theory.
I'm
guys.
excited about it.
So I said, didn't Poppy say that his finger smelled musty? Oh my god, what if he's Craven? He's old enough, no one would have known him before he turned.
But he couldn't be Craven because of the way the blood was all sucked out. But Atlantean,
But at
right?
this point...
But we don't know that yet.
We don't know
Yes.
the difference. We are
Correct.
told
So
Craven
that's a
died.
valid theory because
Yes.
we don't know that yet.
Yeah, so instantly I thought, and I'm trying to think back to when... Did he touch her face? Is that how she smelled his finger? because I wrote down,
maybe he did along a scar or something.
yeah, like, oh, it was almost perfect.
I feel like
or
he
whatever.
did.
I
Did
kind of
touch
feel like
that.
too.
Yeah. And yeah, because I said, didn't Poppy say his finger smelled musty?
Possibly. I don't
So,
recall specifically, but that's
What
very
were you doing with that
interesting.
finger, Lord Asshole? I don't know, but I don't
Right?
think it's anything good.
Oh, you're so funny.
So then my next note says, sounds like a vampire attack. So I'm already like glued
Connecting
in on
those
this
dots.
vampire theory.
Yes.
So then I said, still guessing it's Lord Asshole. Poppy would make a good alibi, which is why he cornered her.
Ooh, I never thought of the alibi.
Yeah.
That's good.
So that was my thoughts. Like, that's why he immediately
Yes.
came out of the room from doing whatever he did and saw
Yes.
her and was like, perfect. I was with the maiden. It couldn't have been me.
Yeah.
That's very interesting.
I went just on theories of, like, the Craven. Like, are the Ascended a bit different version of a Craven because their bites are different? I think she mentions different amount of teeth.
Yes.
But I think that comes to the Atlantean part of things, where the Atlanteans can look like humans. I don't think
Yes.
Craven can when they're full.
No.
We don't think so. No,
Right?
not that we know this
So,
far.
I mean, we wouldn't have known that at this
Yeah,
point,
yeah,
but
yeah.
like looking further into it, right, that makes the most sense that this person is Atlantean because they can look like humans.
Yes.
Whereas Cravens could not.
Yeah, we just didn't know that. Like, I still
that
think,
point,
like,
yeah.
Ascended, Craven, and Atlanteans are all, like, different
Interchangeable.
versions of vampires.
Yeah.
Got you.
Yeah. Okay, so then
I'm always suspicious. Any book I read, they're like, oh, the bad guys. I'm like, bet you they're the good guys. It just always is a thing I feel that if the book wants
Yes.
you to believe
Yes.
something, I
Yes.
automatically am like, sketchy.
yeah, I'm gonna go.
I
on
didn't
the
start
committee.
writing down
Yeah, I'm
theories
gonna-
yet.
Okay,
You
so
rebel.
then I had a quote. So I said, once the sun rose, I didn't have to worry about running into Lord Mazine or any of the Ascended.
That's in chapter 6.
Yes, that's what we're on right now, friends.
Oh, we were doing 5.
No,
weren't
we finished 5. That's
Oh, I have 6 on 2 pages. My
there
bad. I also wrote that quote down.
And then I
Hey,
said,
hold on, read that quote again.
okay,
Sorry.
once the sun rose, I didn't have to worry about running into Lord Mazine or any of the Ascended. And then I said, this definitely sounds like a vampire. They don't come out during the day. They are immortal and they have black pupils.
I wrote, sus!
That is hilarious. I can see it. She did. 2 exclamation points. So I did not catch this. The
books.
Ascended don't go out in the light?
No.
Which is why she tries to do her walks
Why
at twilight before
Did
the sun
I
goes down.
not catch that at all?
Yep.
So none of the Ascended people
None.
go out in the day.
No.
No, they only come out at night.
Yeah.
Which is why she does all of her sneaking around before the sun goes down. Minus the Red Pearl incident. I think that was at
Obviously.
nighttime. But
Yeah.
Huh.
yeah. So I was like,
Wow.
vampire, 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 vampire.
Totally missed that.
I also wrote wolves versus vampires.
Yeah, right? Twilight vibes, man.
Literally. Or teaming up.
So can we talk about dissenters for a second?
Yeah, let's
Is
do
that just a word to encompass all of those that oppose like the gods
Yeah.
in that theory?
Yeah.
Like a Craven is a dissenter. Not a
Yes.
dissenter is a whole other thing separate from a Craven.
Well,
it's just
so-
the name of like rebels in their world. Oh, you're a rebel.
Essentially,
You're a dissenter.
Yes, but I think the way that they're trying to explain it to us is that Cravens don't have a choice. They're turned that way
Yeah.
by the Dark One or whatever.
So like a Craven could be a dissenter. A human being that just disagrees and wants
Correct.
to oppose, they're a dissenter.
Correct.
It's
Yes.
just the name
Because you
for...
remember when they're having the meeting and the
that
guy
guy,
yells out
yes.
or whatever? Like,
Okay.
he's a dissenter.
I just want to be clear that that's
Yeah.
what that is. It's just anyone that's
From
on
what
the
I've
side of the
gathered.
Dark
Yes,
One
I think
is a
so.
dissenter, and that's...
Yeah.
Okay.
From what I gather.
They
Because they
just
don't
got
like
you.
the Ascended and they oppose them.
Gotcha.
Yeah. I got ascended and descended confused a few times, and I wrote a note. I'm like, man, that's the other way. And then I'm like, I have to remember, like, ascenders like rise up like gods and stuff, and
am
dissenters
just
are like
connecting
D.
that those are opposites of each other. Like I just wasn't even...
Oh my god.
Wasn't
We
funny.
need to
Like
calm
I
down.
didn't like. Obviously, the words are opposite, but it never like
It never
clicked to me
clicked.
that was
Yeah.
why they're called the Ascended
opposite, yeah.
versus Dissenter.
I
like,
think I got that at the end.
I didn't realize they're like descend. Like
I think it's
the way
because you
she
and I are
pronounces
listening
it.
to the
She's like,
audiobook.
dissenters. So I'm like, oh.
You and I listen to the audiobook, so we don't see
read it the way
word.
the word is. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's so funny.
That's really
This is
funny.
why I have to read it. Like, I'm like, there's
light
you.
bulb.
Katie tried to like get me to listen to it, and I'm like, I can't. I will remember nothing.
I was surprised with myself, honestly.
Yeah.
I will like
audiobooks.
zoned out and like.
Okay, so now something must happen because my next note starts with all in capitals. Okay. So I think this is another one of my theories. I'm just gonna read it as my note says. So I said, the book says Atlanteans can heal most mortal wounds. Didn't Poppy heal from the Craven attack when most do not? And it says,
Ooh.
and it says that the Wolven and Atlantean come together in a mating bond. Isn't this book supposed to be extra spicy? What if we find out that Poppy is actually Atlantean? or one of her parents were, and she's just too young to remember. And whoever the love interest ends up being, Hawk maybe, is Wolven, and they do a bond thing, and we find out that they are actually the good guys, and they have to take down the evil Ascended.
That's very interesting, and there's a lot to unpack in what you just said. So,
because she was obviously attacked, and she obviously didn't turn Craven.
Yes.
So, and I'm sure that they would have told her, "Oh, it's because you're the
who
maiden."
found her? Who found her alone in this?
Do we know that? Is it ever said?
The Duchess? No, the Queen. The Queen. She somehow gets back, and the Queen is taking care of her.
You're right. And the Queen brings her back to. So,
do we know who actually
is the
found
Queen
her?
good? Do we think, or is she bad?
No, I don't think the Queen's good.
Because I don't think she knows
I'm
the
undecided.
Duchess and the Duke and stuff. Like, maybe she was the Atlantean that did heal her, but nobody knows the Queen is an Atlantean and is pretending to go along with this whole charade. Who knows? I don't know, but that's very interesting what you said.
Yeah,
Never even
I
crossed
feel like
my
the
mind.
Queen comes and gets her after she's hurt.
Because it's like she was clearly attacked. She has the scars.
Yeah.
And she's healed, and no one's questioning that. And I'm sure they're just saying, oh, it was because you're the maiden, you have special powers to get from God, you're a gift, that's why.
The God saved you.
But what if it's because she's actually Atlantean, or she has Atlantean in her blood, and was
or
able
an
to heal
Atlantean
herself.
saved her, or something like that.
Or
That's
that. Or
very
an
interesting.
Atlantean saved her, but I feel like that's a connection.
Do we think, going off that theory, if you're an Atlantean, can you ascend? Like, if her mother was Atlantean, she has Atlantean blood in her, is that why her mother didn't ascend?
That's why she was given the exception.
Yes.
Oops, we just learned you're Atlantean.
And that's the history that the Duke knows. Like, he found out she was Atlantean.
Maybe.
And maybe he orchestrated her death.
Yeah. I do believe that the Duke orchestrated her death.
I think so, too.
But
he seemed sad about it, didn't he?
Well,
I
think
he loved her almost.
That's
think
my
he-
thoughts. He had the hots for her, and she rejected him.
Yeah.
That was my thoughts.
I think it was a love crime.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
And then I started writing about the Wolven. So I mentioned the Wolven, but I don't think that's mentioned very much after
I
that.
don't know
No.
much about the Wolven. The fact
don't
that you
remember
said that,
what a Wolven is.
Same. You saying this, I was like, did I miss something?
Because I wrote Wolves and Vampires, so I was going off Wolven,
Yeah.
and then completely freaking forgot.
Do you
Can
think
you
that
search
could be
Wolven
Craven?
on the book and
The-
just see if there's any mention to it? Because
Could it be Craven similar? No, because Craven's like vampire, isn't it?
are Wolvens the one that turned Craven into Craven? Like turn people into Craven with their bite?
I thought the Craven turned you into Craven. If you get
I
a
thought
Craven
so,
bite,
too.
Can you just search Wolven in the book? Because that was my...
When they were at like the Battle of the Rise, was it Wolven or Craven they were attacking? Do you remember? I think it was Craven, right? Yeah.
Craven.
Okay.
Yeah, I believe that was Craven. But I don't...
we're right where we are. We get the few mentions of Wolven. Not much is known, but I believe the Wolven in question was duty bound to protect the Atlantean. Then we get a very quick mention, like 127 pages later, about like her dagger, which has Wolven bone, and then it's not mentioned again until page 372, and I don't know where
Which
I
we
am.
haven't read yet.
So I don't want to click on it because I haven't read it.
Okay.
So,
So there's very few mentions.
So a Wolven was supposed to guard an Atlantean? Is that what you said?
yeah.
Can you read that first one again?
I'm going to the full quote.
Okay.
Not much. So it's talking about the bonding ritual that you were saying.
Yep.
And then it says, not much is known about this bond, but it's believed that the Wolven in question was duty bound to protect the Atlantean.
Duty bound. Had no choice but
Kind
to
of like how
protect,
Hawk
right?
is duty bound to Poppy.
And he has said that specifically, hasn't he? I'm duty bound to protect you.
Yeah.
He said word for word exactly that.
It is, yeah. And he says her name, not the maiden, in that whole meeting.
So interesting.
Mm-hmm. Just saying. Chapter 6, Katie was
do
already onto
you
it.
think that Craven, if Craven are dissenters, and if we're on the theory that dissenters are not bad,
Right.
do you think that Craven are not bad, but we also, maybe this is just my assumption, that they're just wild. They have no control over what they do.
Yeah.
But do you think that could just be a phase in the transformation into Atlantean?
Like a new vampire
Could be.
in
Do you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
they are going to become Atlantean,
Yeah.
and they just don't... Maybe
Like
they
they have-
do know it, or maybe they're so connected to the Dark One, who's also
Or-
good, that they just... I don't know. I have no idea.
Yeah. I think there's a lot that
They're just so similar. it
Because
seems.
Atlanteans, she does mention,
Yes.
will attack without making a bloody mess. Like, they're more hinted at being vampire-ish,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
vampire-like, right?
Yes.
So what if like a craven is like a new vampire,
Right.
and they don't have the self-control and they only go by bloodlust? Thinking back to Twilight Days, sorry, didn't realize how much of that book I remembered. But like, what if it's like they have to learn how to control that bloodlust, and then they can learn how to do it cleanly and like potentially not
But
do
it's
it to kill
interesting
people?
that their bloodlust seems to only be against humans, no? Or are they attacking other Atlanteans? Are they attacking each other?
A vampire doesn't have blood, though. Isn't that the whole, like they need blood, I guess. But, like, I think, like, it's talked about
do
in Twilight.
Atlanteans bleed? Does it
We
talk
don't
about
know.
that?
We don't know.
But, like,
But do you know
if
what I
you think
mean?
in
Wouldn't
Twilight,
they turn on anyone?
And, like, no, because if you think in Twilight, like, this is how my theory on vampires works. Like, vampires smell human blood, but they don't smell other vampire bloods all the time. Like, I think there's something
About the human
human blood in particular. Like, I think, like in Twilight, they
Okay, that's
want
fair.
human blood. They don't drink each other's blood.
And
Or even the animals are like,
they can
Yeah.
survive on it,
I
but they're
take
not.
it, but I'd rather not.
yeah.
Yeah,
Like, I think there's something about human blood.
Like, I really want that Big Mac, but I guess the salad.
Yeah.
Right?
Literally.
Yeah, that's literally a very good analogy.
To the vegetarian and the vegan.
Sorry, says the meat eater here. Sorry, friends.
That's funny.
Oh, okay. So now I think we must be finding out about oh no. So I wrote, didn't Lord Asshole, I love how I keep referring him to that because it's so accurate. Didn't Lord Asshole's musty fingers smell like a flower? Maybe the jasmine flower came off of him when he killed the girl, which is why it made Poppy nauseous. So I think what is happening right now is she has now snuck back down into the room because she's
Yes.
like,
Oh, yes.
I don't know
Looking
what
for
I'm
that-
going to find, but
Yeah.
like
She found the flower.
Yes. And I think jumping back, sorry, to my last theory, when I'm reading about the Wolven Bond, that's when she's reading the book in the library about
Yes.
that, right? And I think instead of leaving the library, she's like, I should leave this library, go back to my room. But she's like, for some reason, I want to go check out this room, like
Yes.
where the attack
think
happened.
so.
Yeah.
And so she goes to the room where the attack happened, and she sees the petal on the ground,
Correct.
and she
Yes.
assumes it's the lilies that are on there,
Correct.
but it smells like jasmine. She specifically says jasmine.
Yeah.
So, and then it's not mentioned when he smells her musty when she smells the must on his finger, all she says is it smells like a flower. She doesn't say jasmine at that point.
Right.
She comes to that later, though.
Yes.
Yes. That's kind of where we're just at.
But in this particular moment,
don't
she
know.
doesn't know.
No.
Okay. All right. So yeah, that was what I wrote, and I said, which is why it's making Poppy nauseous, because at this point she doesn't know why the smell of jasmine is making her
And it's like
nauseous.
it's
No, she
subconscious
doesn't.
because it's him and she
Yes.
can't stand him. And
Yes.
blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
That's cool.
because he's a murderer.
Right?
Yeah.
And then it ends with Ryland shot. So
I wrote
sob.
Ryland sob.
That was very shocking and sudden to me.
know.
I know.
was not expecting that. And I was, sad.
And then chapter 7 opens with Ryland dead, crying emojis.
Yeah, that was sad.
Yeah.
I wrote, is it Hawk? Like, was it Hawk that killed Ryland?
Oh.
And then I
Do
wrote
you,
no.
to this day, okay, I was going to say, do you still
No,
think that is a possible?
because I immediately, like, I must have read something else, and then I wrote no, but then I wrote arrow, so, like, I thought of that because, like, is he morally gray? And then I also went, like, no, wrong eyes. He doesn't have the right, so I looked back for his eye color, and he doesn't have black eyes, he has brown eyes. I
Okay.
think.
No.
The guy that
No,
killed
no.
Ryland didn't have black eyes?
No, I think the guy that killed
Hawk.
Ryland.
She's talking about
I'm
Hawk.
talking about Hawk.
Oh, okay.
Hawk
No.
has the wrong color of eyes. to
Okay,
be
I'm giving y'all a trigger warning now. Hawk has golden eyes, and it is mentioned time and time
that
and time
from
and time and
Atlantean,
time
or-
again. And I'm like, this means something.
Yeah.
Yes.
So there's notes. They're coming. I promise. He
Excited.
has gold eyes.
You're like, I know this for a fact. Did it say what color the eyes were of the guy that killed Ryland? Were they black?
I thought he had a hood on. Can you read the description of him?
I
Kristen?
feel like
Go
they
find it.
explained that.
Where was
Did
it?
she made an
would
assumption
have been
that
the
he was, I
beginning of
think,
chapter
Atlantean,
7.
but maybe not?
Did you see who kills him though? Isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he does.
You
Yeah,
for
yeah,
sure
yeah,
do.
yeah.
I don't know.
It does describe his eye color.
Okay, read it.
Even in the moonlight, I could see his eyes. They were the color of frosted water, a pale, luminous blue. Interesting. So they're blue.
Very Atlantean.
Did they say anything about Atlantean's eye colors? Do you know?
No,
'Cause
but
of
like-
watery
it does.
No, this
in
is my
Atlantis.
thought. I'm like, Atlantis!
I know, and water. Me too. I'm like water. That's where Atlantis is.
So that's what happened to Atlantis, guys! Jennifer Armentrout knew the whole time!
Like, could there be? And maybe this is like way too much, but like, if we're gonna say the Duke and asshole guy, because I can't remember his name, is
Lord Asshole.
bad, and then who we assume Atlanteans and whatever Dark One good, could there be this in between here where that guy maybe is from the Duke and Duchess trying to almost like stage these abductions happening that aren't, to paint the Atlanteans in a bad light.
Yes.
Do you get what I'm saying? That's why they killed Rylan.
100%.
Like maybe an Atlantean wouldn't actually have done that. A good Atlantean.
So maybe
maybe
wasn't
King
even the
Asshole.
one that
Yeah.
Exactly. Like maybe
interesting.
the Duke
It was all
and
orchestrated.
whoever
Yeah.
are like, we need to, because I can't remember when that guy was in the crowd rebelling, if it was before or
It's
after this.
so it's
Yes.
during after
But
his
like
death.
maybe there's
Yeah.
like this rebellion happening and they're catching wind, so they're like, we need to scare people into
see how bad
Yes.
things are.
you know what I mean? So maybe there's like that
That's a
in
good
between of, because this is painting the Atlanteans as actually bad,
yeah.
right?
Right.
Like
Yes.
actually bad. Where we're
Right.
like, oh, what if they're good? Well, how could they be if they're willing to just sacrifice people?
Yeah.
As like, oh, we don't care if you're in the way, I'll just kill you and take the...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because they could have just been like, Rylan, I'm going to kill you or you're going to give me her.
Yeah.
But like,
Right.
it was just like bloodlust of like...
Okay. So then I wrote a quote. So I said, he yelped in pain, and the sound reminded me of a dog. And then I said, a wolven, perhaps? Could you be our future interest? And then it will say,
And he's dead.
I will bathe in your blood. I said, okay, so maybe not her future mating bond partner.
This is the bad guy? Oh my god, that's funny.
I think I was full convinced at this point it's Hawk. Hawk is the love interest.
I thought so, but I'm like, it seems too obvious. So I was like,
I
maybe
felt
it's
like he was
someone
a
else.
love interest, but I didn't feel like he was involved in any of this
Yeah.
that was happening at this point.
I was
anyways.
like, that's what they want us to think, that he's going to be the love interest, but it's actually going to be someone
I
else.
know. I
But now,
get that
I'm
feeling
like, I don't
too.
know. There's not really anyone else. Unless she starts dating Victor, which might be real weird.
Oh, very weird.
And then I said, so how did he just leave? Did he hear a sound that was like a call for him to come back?
That was my understanding, is what happened, right? Didn't it
A
say
sharp,
that he heard?
piercing whistle came from somewhere
Yeah.
deep beneath the trees, silencing him. He stopped, his nostrils flaring. The sound came again. He seemed to vibrate with rage. And then he says, I'll be seeing you again real soon.
It was like he was being called back.
Yeah.
So he was
From-
like being summoned from whoever.
Must
Yeah,
have.
he picked up the fallen bow, wincing as he straightened. His gaze met mine once more. I'll be seeing you again real soon. And then I promise I'll make sure that smart mouth of yours is rewarded.
And that kind
then
of
I
seems like
think he
something the Duke
leaves.
would say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he'd probably calling her up like, look, I don't murder her.
So do we think that he is actually Atlantean, or...
I don't know. I
See,
wish
this
I
is
knew
when
more
my-
about Atlanteans. Like, what color are their eyes? What this, what that? Because
Like, I feel like Atlanteans
did he have fangs?
could...
Did they talk about her
I don't
seeing
think they
fangs?
talked about that. But I think Atlanteans could be good or bad.
Okay.
Just like people. Like
Yeah,
there's-
just like people.
True. Very true. So then I jump into the Duchess. So this must be when she's meeting with the Duchess after. And I
Yeah.
said, the Duchess is blaming Rylan. So rude. And then I put a quote, your guard was not prepared. And then I said, bitch, don't blame Rylan. I like him.
Right, I know. That's sad.
I feel like, okay, this is, I need to ask, Penelope? Is that how you say her name?
Yes.
Because I read
No,
it.
it's not.
Yeah,
like
Penelope.
Poppy's name?
Yeah,
no,
Poppy's
it's not.
name.
It's not Penelope. It's something like that, but it's not.
That's how they say it. In the
No, they
audiobook.
don't. No, they don't. It's...
Yes,
Because
they
I
do.
wrote a note, Katie, how is it said?
What do you mean? They don't say Penelope?
No, it's not Penelope. It's like Fee or something. It's different.
Really? Oh, I don't think so.
okay,
I've
hold
always
on.
heard Penelope.
Okay, I'm gonna mute my mic. You
How's
guys...
it spelled?
P-E-N... Oh my gosh, wow. P-E-N-E-L-L-A-P-H-E.
I wonder if they pronounce it Penelope. Wow. I've always assumed Penelope, but
'Cause-
maybe it's such a light F that I don't.
Yeah.
Poppy is such a common nickname for Penelope, which is why I thought that's how it should be, but it's not. I know it's not. I'm gonna mute my mic. You
Yes.
guys talk.
Oh,
I'm
weird.
going
'Cause-
to look this up.
I'm always going to write down Poppy because that's a really long name and I don't know how to... I won't remember how to spell
Yeah,
that.
I've always
But, like,
digested that.
Poppy.
And do you know
know.
what? I listen to this at double speed, so even if they say
Oh.
Penelope, I'm probably hearing Penelope because of how
Yes,
quickly
yes,
it goes.
yes.
So that's so interesting.
I just really needed to... Like, there's so many words, like, I can
Even
guess
like the
at.
centers and like even like the rise. They don't really explain what this is. Is this just like a big wall separating their kingdom
I assume
from
it's
like
like a
the
mountain
bad?
top kind of, like-
is it man-made? Do you think the rise? Like, have they built this rise to protect the kingdom from what's outside,
can't remember
or is
how
this
it's
just a
described.
natural rock? Like, I don't think there really is much. It just talks about it being some sort of barrier.
I can almost see it being natural, and then that's why they chose to build their
To build
castle
their
there
stuff
because
there.
it's they don't have to.
because they're like, oh, they made it
make
over the rise. Like, I picture it as like this big, tall, built thing that someone could fall off of.
Yeah.
Versus like a
Yeah.
mountain that like you'd have to slowly. But I guess it could be cliff like.
Sorry.
Right? No, it's okay.
Yeah. I don't know.
So, okay, what else happens in chapter 7? Is that the last of your
I
notes?
wrote
Katie has to say.
there's a quote, and it says,
Oh,
"From
it
blood
does
and
say
ash we shall rise."
And where does that come from? That's the dissenters, like, tagline? Correct?
The arrow used on Rylan was marked, Victor answered. It carried the Dark One's promise, his promise, ere lodged in my throat. As my gaze swung to Tawny's, I knew what she meant. From blood and ash, we shall rise.
And what's interesting, if that is what the dissenters say use, I feel like it kind of goes along our theory of, like, using the innocent's blood or whatever, because from blood and ash, and, like, let's say that something bad happens to these children, we will rise again. Like, we will come back from what you do to us, potentially.
That's interesting.
Because they're promised. From blood and ash,
we shall rise. Yes.
Kind of.
I like that quote, though. Like, I'm like, oh, this, like, I think I got chills when I...
Right, first read it, you're like, ooh, this is the book title. Okay, what do you got for chapter 8 on your notes?
So they talked about, like, the boogeyman. I thought it was, like, an our-world thing. So they literally mentioned, like, how the Dark One is, like, the boogeyman.
Okay, gotcha.
So I thought it was interesting that they used that wording. Yeah. Because I'm like, I thought that was, like, a real-world thing. Like, this is a fantasy world. Like, I didn't expect to read about, like, a boogeyman.
Yes, something that's, like, was that canon
it feels like
almost,
it feels like slang. It feels like real world slang.
Yes, which
like, instead of saying, like,
their world.
you know, it was, like, the demon that haunted us,
yes,
you know?
Yes.
Is my mic picking it back up?
Yes.
Okay. I don't know. To be honest, I was trying to listen on the book and I couldn't find a specific spot where they say it. So I tried Googling it, and they are saying Penelope from Blood and Ash is pronounced Penelope. The E in Penelope is pronounced as a short E, like a pen. And I'm like, you're literally just confusing. I swear
almost like Penelope.
I swear it's Fee, but I will report
it
back.
Could be,
I will report back.
Because again, I was
episode.
listening to it at double speed, so if it was saying Penelope in such a way, I probably wouldn't have even caught it because
it's
was
something weird. Because I remember thinking, "Oh, that sounds like Penelope." Like I remember thinking it sounded like it.
See, I just heard it that way, but I think it's because I was listening to it faster.
But you know, I will confirm on our next episode. I'm sorry, friends, but here we go.
There's going to be people like, it's like this,
right?
I know they're like screaming at their.
Well, look, do you see how it's written?
Yeah, I did.
Like that's.
I know.
I would have been like, huh?
I know. I feel like it's not Penelope, but it's something different.
Chapter 8, Katie. What are your notes?
Wait, I had one note at the end of chapter 7. So I said in quotes, "Once the king and queen hear of what happened, they could summon you to the capital." And then I said, "Dun dun dun, Hunger Game vibes, anyone?"
Right. I know when they call it the
except
capital.
for it's spelt differently.
Is it? See,
yeah.
I don't know this.
Capital in Hunger Games is like
O-L?
Tiol or something. Yeah.
I feel like it would almost be a good thing for her to be there because it seems like the queen doesn't know what's going on with the way that she's treated with the right.
Yeah, because I think she mentioned somewhere like if the queen knew,
and that she would tell them eventually.
Yeah, when she goes up to get ascended.
Why did she go here? Like, why?
The queen sent her there, I believe.
For what reason?
I don't know.
What was the reason?
Is it
like,
because
why?
it's the safest spot because of the rise? That was kind of my thoughts.
Maybe.
I don't know if it's ever said.
It might have even explained it. There's so much to digest when you're...
So I didn't have a lot of notes on chapter 8. So you guys are going to have to remind me what happened. But I wrote, oh snap, her mom used to be a lady in wait. So I think that's when we learned that
lady in wait, meaning a lady waiting to ascend?
That was going to be ascended, yes. Yeah. And we learned that the Duke gave... or not necessarily just the Duke, but
the gods, whoever
was given
her.
permission for her to not be ascended. And it's because she fell in love with her Poppy's dad, correct? Is that
like what kind of? I love this person. Could I not? You tell me they're gonna be like, yeah. They're like, I love my kid. Could you not? They're like, no, that's stupid. We would never go against the gods.
know.
Like it just doesn't make sense.
I know.
I think it was
gotta be more
queen that gave her.
Is it the queen? Okay.
Yeah, because I say queen, whatever her name is, has said more than once that if my mother had ascended, she might have survived that night. So it doesn't sound like they were with the Duke and Duchess. They were in the capital with the king and queen.
Okay.
And if the queen is Atlantean, and the queen knew that the mom was Atlantean and had a bond with the father who could be a Wolven, that might be why she got an exception.
That's true.
And then I wrote, what is the mist? So is this we're introduced to like because during the Craven attack, there's like mist that comes.
Is it just mist that follows Craven? Is it just dark?
Or like I think a lot of them have powers. Like Poppy obviously has a power. I think Hawk has a power. I think Hawk can move really fast and he can maybe hear whispers because like he moves really fast.
There's a lot of times he does like he's able to hear
and like
things.
he's able to pick up on hearing is it a power? Does the Dark One have the ability to make this mist,
like shroud
like
your vision,
his power
to hide his people?
To hide his
Interesting.
people.
That's a good theory, I think.
Because it's just kind of mentioned very briefly, I think, in this chapter. And I was like, what is the
and it's
mist?
like when the
get
mist
a lot
comes,
of,
they
like-
just assumptions that the Craven or
Yeah.
whoever's with
Yeah.
that. There's so many things like that, like mist
know.
and rise and the right and the this, like that's
Yes. Okay, so I think at this point they're at the
the
funeral.
funeral, right? I forgot
And
about this.
Hawk wasn't there right away, correct?
That's
No, he
correct.
joined, like, I think he comes up behind her when Victor has to go.
Yes.
Because I wrote,
Yeah,
is
right
Hawk
at
her
that
new
time.
guard? Swing.
Because he's not her official guard yet,
No,
but
he's
he
not.
steps up and
And
says...
this is what's like sets him apart.
So this is when that moment happens.
Yes.
Okay. All right.
It's crazy that we're this far in and Hawk is still not really in. Like,
Right?
that's wild.
I know. Okay, so now we're into chapter 9, and I started chapter 9 with the list of gods, so I don't know if we need to go over that, but if we have a question about a god, I can reference back to.
Yeah.
But I have the whole list, and it's in my chapter 9, because that's the first time they're mentioned.
Okay.
So I literally copied and pasted it from the...
Yeah.
Got you.
From the thing.
I started with, I can't wait to see what happens if Hawk becomes her guard. And the awkwardness that will ensue from
Yes.
that. And then I wrote immediately after, I need a god-goddess chart.
I got you.
So I think maybe we can just use it for reference when
That's
we're...
what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not going to read it all right now, because if y'all want to read it, it's at chapter 9. It's mentioned right at the beginning. You can go read it. But
I'm just so interested on the history of these
Yes,
gods.
and I think we're gonna find out as
I
we
would
go.
love
Yeah.
to.
I think we're going to find out as we go.
Are the gods good or bad? And if they're good, is it the Duke and Duchess in them skewing it to turn
Right.
people bad? Or
I
do you
think
think the
so.
gods are bad?
I don't think the gods are
I
bad,
don't think
because
the gods are bad.
I don't think so. I think it's going to be like...
Almost the gods and the dissenters are almost all good.
Yes.
But, okay.
And they're trying to pull people away from the gods.
Got you.
Which is why
Like, we
they...
don't often have, like, a god as a character,
Yeah.
too, right?
Yes.
Like, I think it's the whole ideal of the gods, so
Yeah.
I don't think they can
But
inherently...
they can communicate with these gods. That's what makes us interesting with gods. It's like...
Well,
Can
they say they can.
they say
they
that
communicate
exactly.
with them, though?
That's the
Like,
thing is we
yeah.
like there's so
Yeah.
much to know.
Okay, so my next note in chapter 9, I said, did I miss something about the third son being destined to serve the gods? This poor family losing both of their kids. So I think this is
I
when...
think this is the first
That's when
time
we
it's
first learn of
mentioned.
it.
Yeah,
but
so
again, it talks about it as if we already know. When we
Right,
don't.
okay, so maybe that's why.
It's
So I was
just
like, did
because
I
of
miss something?
No.
Okay,
No.
so that's the first time it's mentioned.
Yes.
Then. Okay, so at this point in the book, then, this is when she's sitting at... And I kind of... When I was imagining it, it's kind of like when you see like old king and queens and the peasants come to talk to their king and queen and they listen to their problems. That's kind of what I was picturing
Yeah.
during this chapter.
Before we get into this, though,
Yep.
she's named after a goddess. Foreshadowing. I had.
Oh,
She is
which
named
one?
after...
Oh, she is Penelope. Yep, Penelope. That's how it is. See, I just said it without thinking about it. Penelope is the goddess of wisdom, loyalty, and duty.
Because she says, I find it highly ironic. But I think that's foreshadowing that
That's
she is named
interesting.
after a goddess.
Yep, I think you're onto something.
Then I go on to what we're talking about. Then I go
Moving
back.
Okay, so now what's happening is this family has come to talk to the Duke and the Duchess about
not
wanting
like
their
saving their kid
son.
because their older two died, right?
yes. So they're like, yes, this is our third son,
But he's
our
our
only living child. So if you take him away, we don't have children and we can't have more because she had like health problems or
Yeah.
something.
Something,
right?
yes, correct.
So she's asking for permission for him to not be given to the gods.
Yeah.
And then the Duke obviously says no because I say the fuck. The Duke seems like such a fucking ass. He should have. He could have at least asked the gods. So yes, jumping back to the
Got
right.
you.
That
Yeah.
sounds like that. Do they ever get to see the kid again? This is so
No,
freaking sad.
I don't think so,
And
no.
I think we find out later they don't. Once you're given to the gods, like that's it.
Yeah, because they talk about that. Like,
No one has ever seen them since.
Yeah, I
like,
think,
and
like,
then someone's like,
Hawk
why don't
says-
we just show them the kids and then
Yeah.
everyone will be fine. Like, they'll
Right.
know that everything's
Yeah.
good.
And I like your theory about it being like innocent blood spilt because I think that's why we never hear tell of what happens.
Yeah.
Like why we never see them again. It's because they're fucking dead. They're murdered.
and it might be like an easy explanation as to why they don't just like if you have nothing to hide, why are you
Exactly.
hiding? it?
Don't they literally say to ascend you have to drink the blood of something? And that's why she was
the blood of the gods.
the blood of the gods.
Yes.
Maybe it's not
And
the blood
that-
of the gods because
Yeah.
you're not really ascending.
No.
You're doing something bad,
Yes.
which
I think
is
you're right. I really think you're
turning
right.
into
Yeah.
whatever. But
That sounds legit.
anywho.
And then I said the blonde man burning through the wall that she put up against her gift. Who is this? So is this when like she first
The first
loses
rebel,
control
I
of her?
think, yeah.
Yes.
Okay. And is this the same blonde guy that is later throwing the Craven
Yes.
hands
Yes,
at the
I
King
think so.
Queen. Okay.
Yes.
So that's the first time that happens, and she describes it as like a burning sensation.
Hot, like physical pain. I wrote that down.
Interesting.
Because I also thought, I'm like, she's feeling something here, like this is...
So do we think he knows that she has this gift and is actively trying to break through it?
I don't think so.
I think it's unconscious, but I am wondering now as we talk more, is it something like, if he is a descender, is it something she's sensing, like, because of that bond, like maybe she is almost going to be duty bound to like a Wolven, and they are to work together to like save the descenders, however you want to phrase it, and so this is something she's feeling to like push her towards that. Like if he's part of the descenders, maybe that's like a...
That's interesting.
You know? All connected.
She can like feel his almost... What is the right word when you have like such passion towards doing like the right thing or whatever? Like she can feel in
like
him.
a pull.
You know what I mean? That
call to
like
action or whatever.
yes.
Yeah.
Interesting. And then I said they lose the baby at 1 month old and a bunch of crying emojis. So I still don't know. Is this always the case at 1 month old they lose their babies, or is that just when the rite happened with relation
I'm trying
to
to
this baby's
decide
birth?
that. I don't know.
Is it ever actually mentioned?
I thought it during the actual rite. It said something like anybody that has this
Like I know it's the third
born
but, like,
at
what
such and
point?
such an age, but then they would have to have a rite many times in a year.
They do
Right.
say, like, in 1 month from his birth, you will give him to the high priests, and you'll be honored to do so.
So maybe there's a rite every month? That seems crazy.
Unless they keep the blood, and, like, they get a 1 month old, and they keep the blood, and they, like, keep it chilled.
But I'm just saying, like, if they say you have to give up your baby at 1 month old,
Yes.
and they give up the baby at the rite, do they have 12 rites in a year then? Every month they do this? Or, you know what I mean? Because they make this big production about it at the
Right,
rite, where they
right.
give up their third born. But if it's not during a rite, do they just go, here's the baby, and there's no production about it? Like, how often
Yeah,
does a
because
rite
she made it
happen?
sound like the rite was like a big ceremony.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't imagine they do it once. Maybe they do it once a month, but...
Maybe that's something we find out later.
Yeah. I'd like to know more.
And then I said, my last comment was, what happens if they didn't tell the Duke and Duchess that the new kids were born? Would people just know that this kid is supposed to be taken? So, like, is there, like, a registry? Like, how do we know?
I assume there's a
but there must
registry or
be.
somehow, or, like, the doctors are, like...
Like, they
if
report
have,
Like, could you just, like, hide a pregnancy and... birth
Yeah, like, what if you had
it
birth at home and
backwards?
no one knew?
And I imagine that's how it happens there. There probably is no, like, hospitals to go
Right.
birth a baby. You're probably
Right.
having your baby in
Yeah.
a concrete floor, dirt
Right.
home. Like,
Yeah.
But, like, are then, like, your neighbors, like, your neighbor would surely see you
probably. It could
pregnant.
just be a thing like that, right? Where, like, your
Yeah.
neighbors would tell on you if not, because
Or, like,
you're
it maybe just doesn't
treasoning the
happen often because
kingdom.
it's the third and fourth son, right? Like, it's not like it's your first or second. And, like,
Yeah.
for them, it only gets brought up because they lost their first and second.
I think it would just be really hard to hide a pregnancy. Like, if
Yeah.
you wanted to not tell anybody.
Yeah.
Like,
You have to,
there
like, not
could be
leave
a
your house.
registry.
It sounds like they wear, like, corsets and stuff, too. So,
Yeah.
like,
Yeah,
you
like
have-
and what, she's just gonna not come out of her house
Yeah.
for, like, that would be suspicious.
Yeah. So that's all I had for chapter 9. Did you guys have any other notes? My notes weren't very big for that chapter.
No.
Mine either.
Okay, so I opened chapter 10 saying I feel like the blonde man is going to be a bad guy or something. He was trying to break through her gift. So I think in my head I was thinking it was purposeful.
He was
but you
doing
guys don't
that.
think.
I don't think it
I
was
wasn't
purposely.
catching that, but we could be wrong.
I don't think
on that.
he was even paying attention to her, was he?
There wasn't there one point where they locked eyes.
That's
for a
what I
while?
thought too. They locked
I think
eyes and
they
then she felt
did.
a pain.
But I think that it was more that people like him,
Can sense her.
Yeah.
or think of her negatively. She's the god's gift. She's everything that the gods whatever, and they disagree with everything that's being said. So I think
Yeah.
that they just look at her as the total opposite of what all the good guys look at her as.
Okay.
She's like the dark one to dissenters, basically.
Got you.
At least that's what they want you to
Yeah.
believe,
That's
right?
another-
So
yeah.
it could just be hatred towards her and all the kingdom has to stand
Like
for.
as a whole.
Yeah.
Okay. And then I wrote Hawk is her protector now. So I think this is when he's officially named.
I know, I wrote Hawk is her guard.
And then I said, what was the Duke's mad face about when she took off her veil? So I'm trying to remember what happened at this point. This is when he gets to see her
Because
face for the first time.
Yes.
And so obviously something's mentioned about him being angry.
Well, no, she
She stares at him.
And he says how she's
Oh,
beautiful. and-
Right. Yes, because she gives him like a look or something when she takes it off.
Yes. I also
Right.
thought it was weird
Because she gets
that
punished for it later.
She
like-
does.
Yeah, she does.
I forgot about that.
He says at some point, reveal yourself. Oh, that's at the
That's
at
like
the
her
end
face,
of-
I think, right?
Yeah, because she takes the veil off, and then he makes his comment about like how the one face is a beauty and the other half is a nightmare, or
Yeah.
the one face is a dream and the other face is a nightmare.
Yes.
Because I said I fucking hate the Duke again.
I know, he's so just terrible.
And then Hawk responds with, "Both halves are as beautiful as the whole. I vow to keep you safe.
Oh, of
From
course
this
he
moment
said.
to the last one, I am yours." And I'm like,
You're like, I love Hawk. And I think that the narrator, is that the right word? She does such a good job doing his voice.
I know.
Like,
a narrator will really truly make or break an audiobook. Like, I think I said that in our intro episode, but it's so true. And as soon as I started this, I'm like, I know this voice. And when I discovered it was from Silver Flames, I'm like, oh yes, because I loved her. She was so
yeah, I
good
think
in
it's
it.
it's very well done.
So yeah, she does a really good job.
Is this in chapter 11?
Chapter 10. We're in chapter 10 right now. Actually, to be honest, I don't know, because if you can see by my notes, I got confused and I stopped taking notes, and I'm like, how am I on chapter 12 and have notes? So this very
I
well
think
could
this
be
is
11.
so. Because chapter 10 ends with Penelope, please reveal yourself.
Okay.
So then
okay.
I think you.
So I
must
stopped
not have-
differentiating
yeah.
when
Yeah.
the notes were. Okay.
Because then I'm in chapter 11. It's like, Penelope, we do not have all day.
Okay, so sorry.
And
This
you know
is
why
chapter
she
11.
has
Jeez, Katie,
She
get
has
your notes
time.
together.
You know, I meant to say that at the beginning too, that there was a point in here and I couldn't remember what it was, and I was just scrolling on my phone. So
Yeah,
that's
because
my bad.
she also says, I asked, like, what is with his other office and lessons?
Oh, like how
Like, she's still
'cause
talking about that before, I think.
because she walks past the room like where the lessons happen or whatever.
No, because they're still in. I don't think she's revealed. She hasn't taken her veil off yet, and it says like, Dorian Tierman, the Duke, pretended that he didn't, and that he thought I was this miracle born, a chosen, just like his wife believed. But I knew better. The time spent in his other office, in italics, proved exactly how he felt about me. And then there's a bit more.
And we haven't had experience with what the
No, we
lessons
don't know what
were
the
yet,
lessons are
right?
yet.
No, I'm still thinking she's getting
This
raped.
is. I'm still thinking it's sexual in
Yeah.
nature. Yeah. And then it continues on to say, and if I'd really wanted to make his day, I'd give him something to be disappointed in, a reason to continue his lessons in italic. Like, both of those were like hinting at
that he
something.
enjoys doing what he does. to
And then
her.
face burning as if on fire, and then she takes it off with the hint of the grin towards the Duke.
Because at this point, she doesn't know, and Hawk might
will
not even
recognize
know,
her.
but they don't. She doesn't want to be recognized by Hawk at this point,
Correct.
Because she's not sure
And
if
she
he'll
thinks
rat her
this
out.
is going to be the moment
Yes,
that
yes,
it's gonna shit could hit the fan.
Right. Okay. Yes. Okay. So she takes it off. Hawk says his love story thing, and it was so cute.
I think I wrote,
confessed
I
his
love Hawk.
I know.
I think that was at that point.
Okay, so chapter 12 is when I started picking up actively taking notes again, so I don't know at what point does chapter 11 end. Because I don't want to mess it up again. Sorry, friends.
Is that how Tawny's name is
Yeah,
spelled?
Tawny.
That's how I guessed.
Really? Oh, I know someone named Tawny, so it's not spelled that way. So I thought
I wrote there though, like, I wonder how trustworthy Tawny actually is.
I feel like I
at
trust
the
her.
beginning.
Yeah.
So this is still. I was still like, can we trust her that much? I think we can. Like,
Now, in hindsight,
knowing where I
yeah.
am now, but
Yeah.
at this point, I'm
At
like,
that point.
how trustworthy is she?
See, and I wrote, I don't know if this is chapter 11, so tell me if it is, but I said, I really like her and Tawny's relationship. She seems to be truly excited for Poppy and Hawk's story. So this is when she's telling.
I think it's at the end, because she's like, at the end of 11, she says something like, you know what I think? I'm afraid to hear it. Things are about to get so much more exciting around here.
Okay, so that's in chapter 11 that
Yes,
she tells the story. Okay,
yes.
so does chapter 10 end with... What does chapter 10 end with? Because my notes are all...
That was when he said, reveal yourself.
Yeah, reveal
right?
yourself
Poppy,
is what
reveal
10 ended
yourself.
with.
When she had to take her veil off.
Okay, and then chapter 11 is when he says she's beautiful.
Yes.
And then, so the whole, she told Tawny. So they went back to the
'Cause
room
she
and
obviously
Tawny
picked
was
up,
like,
like,
why...
what's going on
Yeah,
here?
like, why are you acting so weird about this?
Yeah,
so
I
then
think
she tells
so.
Tawny. Tawny's excited. And then I found out, and I don't know, this might have just been me, but like she can't even. I wrote she can't even talk to other maidens. Well, there are no other maidens, right? So I don't know.
She is
she's the only one.
But
I was thinking
but they also say maiden in wait. So she's like the maiden, but there's like maidens in wait that are going to be ascended, right? So I think any lady or like a lady in wait type
is
thing
like a maiden.
Yeah.
Okay.
I
And
think
she
it's
can't talk to
loosely used
anyone
there.
except Poppy because she's her personal or not
Tawny,
Poppy.
and
Tawny.
she's also not even supposed to build a relationship with her.
No,
though.
she's
It's supposed
just
to be like
I
necessities of speaking with
help you
someone.
get dressed, I help you get food.
Yes.
Like that's
Yeah.
She
essentially
should
it.
not be telling her.
Right.
No.
And then Victor is her guard, which she's allowed to talk to, but again, it's supposed to be very like businessy.
Yes.
And now Hawk. So essentially, just those three people outside of the Dutch.
Yeah.
You got it.
Okay. And so, why is Lord Mazine allowed to talk to her?
I don't think he's technically supposed to allow it to. I think she alludes to that he's not supposed to talk to her.
Okay.
But the Duke allows it.
And basically, if
'Cause
he
she
has
gets in
anything to
trouble.
complain about, the Duke will do something about
Yeah.
it. So she just has to go along with it, or else he
Gotcha.
will
Yeah.
say something.
So
and-
it's like corruption of power, basically.
yes,
Yes.
absolutely.
Okay, got it. All right.
Got it. Terrible. Okay.
I knew he was a fucking asshole. Okay. So then I said, this life sounds totally depressing, which, like, it really
Actually,
is.
though.
Yeah.
Like, I'd be miserable. Like, literally just stays in her room and...
I mean, like, some days that sounds great, but, like...
But not when I have to do it all the time.
Yeah, but we have TVs and Nintendos and
Yeah,
phones.
true
that.
And books.
She's sneaking into the library to read about history because that's the best she can do.
Literally, though.
Until she steals the naughty book.
Right? Oh man, that was so funny.
Okay, and then I wrote...
Are you on 11 or 12?
See, I don't know, because my notes between chapter 10 through 12 are
Like,
interchangeable.
including 12 are interchangeable?
I started writing again in 12, realizing
Okay.
I'd made a mistake. So some of my notes in 12 are actually 12.
Let's just keep going through yours as a first point then, and then until we know.
So then I started talking about Castile, which right now I'm not even thinking who that is. I don't know. I said, is Castile this series Voldemort? Sorry, another Harry Potter
Don't
reference.
even know who Castile is.
He
right
who
now.
shall not be named, LOL.
Is that the name of the Dark One?
That's what I'm wondering. Can you
don't
do
remember.
a find and search on your audiobook or on your
My audiobook?
not
No.
audiobook on your? That would be nice. Can that be a thing?
Let's just patent that right now.
On the PDF.
Prince Castile.
Okay, read about
Oh,
him.
that's right. We can't talk about him.
Yeah, I wrote he who shall not be named. Is that the dark one? Is that the name for the dark one?
Yes, it is. It is. And you can't call him the prince, I'm pretty sure.
Because that's, like,
saying he's
insulting.
good and when
Yeah,
he's not.
it's-
I'm pretty sure.
Unless they supported he who called himself Prince Castile, the true heir to the kingdom, except he was no prince or heir, he was nothing. That's at the very beginning of the book.
Okay.
So we're in 12 now,
But I think he is also the Dark One, is he not? Is that not the same person?
I don't think it's ever said that because we don't know who the Dark One is.
So maybe that's just me
I
assuming.
think that's...
I was assuming too, though.
But I was getting Voldy vibes. Voldy vibes.
But if he's the Dark One...
I
you know
don't
that he
actually get
thinks he's
Voldy
evil.
vibes. I get that they want to talk to him as
That's
like
what
that,
I mean.
but-
Like, yeah.
Yeah.
But he's actually good.
So we're in 12 because
Okay.
it's Lauren, like the two other ladies in wait that she shouldn't be listening to. That
At the
she's
table.
Oh, so they're talking about him? Is that what's
Yeah.
happening right now?
Yeah.
Okay. So what does it say in chapter 12 about Castile?
Because
Because I wrote his name down and I don't feel like I would have remembered that from the first
You
chapter.
know
So it must
that
be
it
in
has
there.
to mean that he's near Prince Castile. So they're talking. I think they're talking about the Dark One. It does say.
Okay.
It was treasonous to call him a prince. He was the Dark One.
Okay. I
Okay,
thought
so he is the dark one.
So
Castile.
And
Because
also,
of-
some people
because of
feel
the
like he's
Chap.
the rightful prince. Does it
Yeah.
The
forget
descendant
maybe.
do. The descendant
Descendant
do.
probably do.
So he is the descendant's good guy, which I think is going to end up being the good guy.
Interesting.
Yes.
Okay.
Do you think he was a prince at one point and then they took over, or they just call him the prince because they think
Well,
what
they
he's
always
talking
talk
for is
about
right?
the war
The
of
downfall,
two kings.
yeah.
So I
Yeah.
think he's the son of the king that lost that war. It
So
was
there
how
was
I-
two kingdoms. He
Yes.
was a prince,
Yes.
and got you.
He's
got
just
you,
not
got you.
their prince.
Got you.
Which is that the Duke and Duchess? Like what? Who are they?
No, there's the king and queen.
But why are the Duke and like who are they? Are they just
They're
the ones
in
they
the same
were
kingdom, but in a different place. Within
I
that
assume it's
kingdom,
like-
I think.
But were they just appointed, or is it like related?
No, I think it's appointed. Like this is just
Either
medieval
or.
times. Like it's just appointed. Like it's like the Duke and Duchess are like our prime minister.
Okay.
And the king and queen are our prime minister, and then the Duke and Duchess are like the premiers of the
Okay,
provinces.
and they're just
right?
assigned by the king.
Yeah.
and queen. Okay.
It's probably likely by
Or
like
maybe
blood and
blood,
loyalty.
but-
Yeah.
But it's like they're assigned.
Okay.
They're
It
like the
probably,
next
runs
step
in the
up, like
family.
between the next under the queen is like that.
The Duke and
those.
Duchess,
Got
yeah.
you.
And there's probably more than one Duke and Duchess in different
Yes,
areas,
there'd be different
right?
Duke.
For each
Yes.
like kingdom
like
or
area.
whatever.
This is
Area.
the what do they
Okay.
call this? The where they're at right now. It's not called the Rise, isn't it? Where do they live? Not in the capital. Isn't there like
It's
a name?
surrounded by the rise. There is a name for it. I can't think
remember.
of what it is. It's like
Let
a little
me bring
village.
up the map.
It's like a little village. And then I said, why do we think she keeps losing control of her gift?
I also wrote that down.
So something's happening, which I think we find out later in her meeting with the Duchess. It's because it's evolving.
Well, that's what she's
Yes,
saying.
she said
Right.
it's evolving.
Right. But I think it's like maybe it's because she's starting to become more aware. She's starting to follow.
That's what
I
I feel
also
like.
wrote,
I
I
feel
wondered
like
at
it's
this
due
point.
to like the rebellion and the
Like an
awareness of what's...
awakening.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's how I feel.
I also wrote prior to this is I still wanted to know at this point if Hawk knew it was Poppy when he kissed her.
Yes, I wrote that too. I didn't write that, sorry, but I was wondering that as well.
But yeah, looking at the map, like there's different areas. Like there's like Undying Hills, Macedonia, Blood Forest,
Macedonia.
Three Rivers, White Bridge. Like they'd all have their own Duke and
Okay.
Duchesses.
Okay. Got you. So the Duke and Duchess that we are dealing with
Of
are the Duke and
Macedonia.
Duchess of Macedonia.
Yeah, and then you can see like there's like castles. I don't know if I can turn my laptop for you guys to see. So like Macedonia, like there's a castle at
So they're the Kingdom of
Carcedonia.
Solis, and then the Atlanteans it's the Kingdom of Atlantia.
Yeah, so that would be like where the King and Queen We know live, and then there's probably another like maybe the Prince Castile is
Interesting.
over
So
here.
how close? Oh, so Macedonia is quite a bit north of where the King and Queen actually live.
Yes,
Then.
because they do say it's quite a journey. It's a journey. It's an undertaking.
Oh, right. Okay. All right. So then I said, do we think that there is a chance Hawk is Atlantean, and that is why he is so fast, quiet, and good looking? So along the same thoughts that you had.
Or
There
he's
is
a werewolf.
definitely a chance. He's a something
all
that's
like-
not human.
Ultra
And
senses.
then I say, this is my first gold eyes mention. The gold eyes have me wondering. She keeps mentioning them. Is this foreshadowing? So
I just wish... I don't think it has said anywhere what Atlanteans, like, if they have a specific...
No,
Because that
it
one
doesn't,
guy
it
that killed
doesn't.
Rylan had those very blue eyes.
Yeah.
And he's got really gold
Yes,
eyes.
I just think
like,
the
but it
eyes are
has to be
key.
relevant. It has to be.
Because she wouldn't keep mentioning
Yeah,
it if
you're
that
right.
wasn't important.
You're right.
And
Yeah.
so that, I think, was the first time I'm like, hey, she said this a lot. So I wrote it down. And, like, as we
Now
progress,
you're, like,
it's gonna be
waiting.
like, gold eye, gold eye, gold eye.
There it is again.
Yeah. The interaction between Hawk and Poppy and the way to the Dukes, he knows it's her, right? So I'm trying to think of what I was talking about in this moment.
So I think it was when he spoke to the Duke about Poppy, he's got to know that was the interaction was with Poppy earlier. I think it's kind of what you're alluding to, but
because
maybe
they're
not.
on the way. The Duke calls her in. The Duke, because she's with the two.
Yeah,
she's
and
with the
Tawny
two
and her and
maidens in
Tawny are both like,
waiting.
Yeah.
why is he summoning you? They were both very
And so,
nervous.
like,
Oh, so
Hawk
they're
was
back
like-
in her room at this point. They're back in her room at this
No.
point?
No, they're still in the gardens, and Hawk was there, and then someone came and said the Duke is asking for
Oh, this
you.
is when she's summoned.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh,
And
okay,
he's
sorry.
like, why were you guys so...
Why are, yes,
And
why
she's like,
are
oh
you
no,
so...
we're not.
Yeah.
So I wrote fucking Lord Mazine. So does that mean it's him that came and summoned her to the...
I don't think
He
it
didn't
was.
come,
I
but,
didn't
he,
think
but
it
he
was.
was in the room when she had her lesson. This is her
But
first lesson that she's coming up to that we've experienced.
So she walks into the door and it's
No,
him?
They're at the
no,
steps.
not in this question.
How does
Or
the
not in
chapter
this
end?
chapter.
How does the chapter end? Chapter 12. How does it end?
Oh, is he? No, she suddenly realized the Duke isn't alone. Across from him is Lord Mazine. So we're not.
So we just get
at
in the room.
So he's not the one that summoned. I'm referencing to the point when she walks in the door and
Yes.
it's him. Okay.
Yes.
So,
I
and
also
that's,
wrote, "I hate the Duke."
so that's how the chapter ends. She walks in to
Sees
her
him
lesson
there.
and Lord
And
Mazine is there.
the Duke says, "Penelope, I'm so incredibly disappointed in you."
Okay. All right. Okay. So then chapter 13, I start with fucking gross. This is so fucked, man. The Duke acts like he owns her.
I also wrote, "Even more hate for the Duke. Mazine not feeling anything. Sus. What the f?"
Yes, because she
Is
tries.
he ascended or no? Because
He is.
He
He
is.
So it makes sense that
the
they don't feel
vampire vibe
anything,
thing, right? Like, yeah.
But it wasn't like she was surprised she didn't feel anything, right? It was expected to not feel something from an ascended.
Yeah, I can't
Right?
remember if she mentioned
No, I think
it at
she's
that point.
surprised.
Because wasn't the Duchess like, can you feel anything from
That's
me?
later, though. That's later in the book.
But I'm sure she has mentioned before that she knows she can't feel anything. Doesn't she say, "Will that have changed my brother? Will he blah 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 blah"?
Yeah.
Like I thought it was knowledged.
I don't think
That-
at this point it was
that she knew that-
because I wrote like, "Why isn't she feeling anything?" Sus.
Can you read in here what it mentions?
I'm
on
trying
it?
to.
Okay. I before getting into fantasy lore, I didn't read a lot of stuff on like medieval times. So like I remember the first time I read the word tunic, I'm like, what the fuck is that? And I had to like Google it. Because like I hadn't really read
That's
anything in that
funny.
time. But a lot of fantasy is, and I think it's
Yeah.
because you know, like you think
just having like a kingdom and that
yeah,
is
it's like mythical and magical.
Yes, it is.
And you can't just whip out your cell phone to Google what the answer is.
Exactly. There's a lot of potholes that happen when
Yeah.
technology exists.
Yeah.
So
So it starts like I saw it, I'd seen the look in the Duke eyes. I saw it far too many times before when I had made the mistake of looking. The kind of look that told me that if I wasn't the maiden, he would inflict a different kind of pain. Just like I knew Mazine would, but I couldn't suppress the shudder that followed. A moment later, I felt his hand on my bare shoulder. I also thought it was weird that she wasn't wearing anything at this point.
I know, I read a note of that too.
I was like so creeped out for her.
Yeah.
And me.
Yeah.
right?
And everything in me recoiled. So it seems like she's surprised. Like she's like, oh my god. It wasn't just the touch of his too cool skin against mine. It was also what I didn't feel. I felt nothing. So
no, I think herself.
That's how I read it too.
Not
like
she felt
numb.
Nothing from them. Her inside, I didn't feel mad. I didn't feel sad.
Because
I felt
it says no
nothing.
faint trace of anguish that all the people carried with them, no matter how long ago the source of that hurt that had inflicted its damage. There
I
was
still
no
felt to
pain of
her.
any kind, and that was the way it was for every Ascended, which should be
Okay, so she was talking about them.
So she does mention there for the first time that they don't feel anything.
That I couldn't pick up on any pain. It only left me with the feeling of crawling skin.
But so she's saying I didn't feel anything from them, and that's how it is with all Ascended people. I never
still
feel anything.
like to me, it's like she recoils from that feeling. Like
see, I thought she was just recoiling from him. That's how I read that. Like, oh, get away from me! Don't touch me.
Well, it could be like just the shock that they're capable of this as Ascended and still feel nothing out of it. Even though she knows Ascended doesn't feel anything, I still feel like being in that situation, it would still be shocking that nobody could feel. That you couldn't.
Saying like it was a reminder of how different the Ascended were from mortals.
Right.
Okay.
What the blessing of the gods did.
Yeah. Quote unquote
gods.
We think it's
I definitely took that as like it was odd for her to feel nothing.
Okay.
It does say that she is used to, but I think there was still like it was still
a shocking thing to her to experience, which I can sympathize with that. Right.
Yeah.
It's even though you know someone is going to feel something when something so traumatic is happening.
How
can you possibly not feel?
Yeah.
Even though right.
Yeah.
So I think that.
So I wonder if she expected him to feel something though, because he was there to watch. Why are you there to watch if you feel nothing?
And maybe this is connected to the Duchess being like, "Can you feel my feel?" Like, because maybe they do have something.
Yeah.
And
like
maybe they can feel each other's things
Right.
once you're Ascended, maybe, or you know what I mean. So,
Hey guys, it's Katie again, just hopping on my phone. We are about to discuss further sexual assault, sexual violence, and violence in general. So if that is something you're not comfortable with, please skip ahead about maybe 5 minutes. Okay, back to the show.
So I said along the same lines as you. She just has to get naked in front of them. She can't fucking talk to people, but she can strip down in front of those pigs. I said, where is the Duchess when all of this shit is going on?
I thought it was so weird that she's the maiden. She's like, I always read like the maiden as like
fully covered head to toe.
Yeah, the form of ultimate purity, which means sexual as well. So why are you making her go naked?
And like he's watching her boobs bounce when she's being smacked. Like it's disgusting.
Yes.
Disgusting.
Yeah. So then I said, dude, this is so fucked. They're just beating her with a cane. How is this allowed? So.
And it makes me so mad that she, like, I get it, but she doesn't tell anyone. She won't even tell Hawk. I'm like, just tell him. But
she's
like,
probably embarrassed too.
I get that there's the embarrassed.
She's
there's
like,
I don't want him getting in trouble. Then he's not going to be my guard anymore if he sticks up for me. Or the shame part.
Yeah.
Like I get it, but inside I'm like, just tell someone.
She
tell
talks
the
about
Duchess.
it
Tell
later
this
on
person.
too, like how she has like this cloak of shame and embarrassment from being alone all the time. Like she probably doesn't even know if this is normal because she's not allowed to talk to anyone.
She doesn't know any kind of social
difference.
Like she does know that she does have that feeling that like there'd be a different type of lesson if she wasn't the maiden.
Yeah,
but like I don't think she realizes like how wrong it is.
Yeah.
So then I wrote chapter 14, Lord Mazine just staring at her boobs as she got hit. Dude, this is so fucked.
Yeah.
So I think it kind of.
I don't think I didn't write comment on this. I was like, no, I'm out.
Yeah, and then my next note says Victor is the best. So is this when he?
Yeah, because I love how protective Victor is, even if I hate that he has to be.
Yeah. So he is now like
because he took over for Hawk and like he took her back to her rooms and asked like how bad
because he wasn't there, right? Hawk wasn't there when she got it. When she was
Hawk
happy, she was like, "Oh, thank God."
So Hawk was there when she was summoned, and he was picking up on the fact that
it was
Tawny and her were like freaked
I was
out.
a little disappointed that he picked up on something and didn't stay.
I know.
Like but wasn't there a reason? It was something to do with the right or something, or Victor or whatever.
I
but
think
Victor,
I was
like
would have pushed him to leave, knowing that.
But still, part of me was like, Well, you can't be that worried guy because you're like, see ya.
Well, he probably can't do much if he's above her, like, military.
That's fair.
So what's happening now is Victor's escorting her back to her room, where she essentially stays for the next 2 days because she doesn't want Hawk to see her, like, walking funny or like see the welts on her skin and whatever. And so now I'm making note of she's watching the torches, so now she's looking at the rise. So the torches are kind of like their first warning that the mist and the cravens are coming, because she says, when she is watching the torches blow around and one of the fires gets snuffed, does that mean the mist is approaching?
Yes.
So she makes note of, like, oh, the flames are all still good. Like, oh, awesome. Yes. And then she second glances it and she's like, oh my gosh, that one is...
I also wonder, too, with the mist, like, I don't know how far the flames go, but, like, it's something seen, I think it's in a lot of medieval lore, and it's specifically in the Lord of the Rings, for sure. At least the movies. Where, like, Gondor needs help, and it's, like, way over there, and so what happens is, like, Gondor will light lights, and, like, so then there's another watchtower so far away, and once they see that light, they light their light, and, like, it kind of continues down. So, like, I wonder if she's watching the lights. Yeah, it's like beacons.
Oh, okay.
So, like, if she's watching the flames, and, like, if you see that flame go out, you know the mist is coming.
Oh, okay. Because then the one does actually go out, and that's when she freaks out. And then I said, Poppy going out there like Hunger Games with her bow and arrow.
I thought of Katniss too. I also wondered, I think it's talked about before this, because this is when we learn that this is when I questioned that was Poppy and Mom rejected by the Duke. But I also she talked about her ascension and how it would save the entire city, and I want to know why that is the thing.
Oh, interesting! I didn't pick up on that,
because it is talked about how, like, at some point in this chapter, before she gets out, before she leaves.
Right.
Because I wrote down, like, how would her ascension protect the entire city?
Yeah, like, what different is going to happen when she ascends compared to anything else that has ever happened?
Is it because she's the only one that can stop them, and by turning her bad, she can no longer stop them?
That's what like, is it...
So that's saving them by suppressing her.
Protect, or, like, what the Duke and Duchess want you to believe is protecting.
Yeah, get rid of the threat.
Yeah, literally.
That's what it is.
Anyway. Yeah, because I wrote here... I have a feeling Hawk has superior hearing and will catch Poppy.
Oh.
I think
when she's talking about leaving, I'm like, no, he's going to hear
that she wants to leave. Because her and Tawny are talking about how she's going to go out.
And he can probably hear the door close or whatever, like, the other...
Yeah, and in the previous chapter, he heard what they were talking about, even though he was further away.
Yes, because they were talking about him specifically, about how cute he was and stuff, right?
Yes.
Yes, that's right. That's right. Yeah, because I wrote the Cravens sound creepy as hell, but I didn't think to write the quote. I should have.
I don't think... Oh, so, I had the scars to prove it. They poured out of the mist, the source of my nightmares, the creature sent by the Dark One over a decade ago to rob my brother and me of our parents in a blood-soaked massacre. They were the evil ones who'd nearly killed me before my 6th birthday, crawling and biting in a frenzy of bloodlust. The Craven were here. That's how the chapter ends.
Okay, so it wasn't their physical description.
Was it just both her brother and her that were attacked? Was her brother not there during the attack when she was saved?
There is a description.
There is? Okay.
Yeah. Their pale bodies of milky white, leached of all color, their faces sunken and hollow, eyes burning like a fiery coal, mouths open wide, revealing 2 sets of jagged, serrated teeth. Their fingers were elongated into claws, and both their fangs and their claws could flay skin like the softest butter. I had the scars to prove it. So
they're very pale, and their eyes are described as
fire.
We can assume red.
Yeah, that's what I would take.
Fiery coal.
Oh, fiery coal. So
like that's still glowing red.
So like black that's glowing red.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay, so that's the end of the chapter,
face
right?
is sunken and hollow too. It almost
like they're starved.
Yeah, like they're starved.
Yeah, which is why they're cray-cray.
Yeah. I too get hangry.
I can relate.
Eat, you'll feel better.
Yeah, literally.
So that's the end of 14 then, right? Okay.
Yeah, they were here.
So then 15, I said, if Victor dies, I will not be okay. So
I thought, I'm like, if it's going to happen, it's going to happen here, and she's going to witness it and not be able to do anything.
So from what I've read, from what I'm picturing in my head, she's on the physical rise itself, right? That's where this
I didn't picture that, but I think that's accurate.
And there's like
outside the rise,
and there's like lookout towers that are really high up, which is where she is arrowing them down from.
That's how I pictured it too.
Okay, and so she's looking down at Victor, who is not on the arrow, so he's just on the rise.
So she's away from this main building that she lives in.
Yes,
is on
she snuck
a
out
tower.
through that
I imagined
servant's door.
like like, imagine Notre Dame and how, like, the gargoyles stand on, like, a thing.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
like that she's on the building shooting from afar. Like, even though I know that's not right.
But that's how you picture it in your
what was
brain.
my head, yeah.
It sounded like it was like a perch.
Yes.
Yeah.
Essentially, right?
Like,
That
you
she's
think of any
climbed up.
castle, they always have the walls around the
Yes.
castle, and they have, like, their lookout perches.
Yes, and
like,
she's up
the
on one of
walkway,
those.
so she's in a lookout.
And Victor was not, because she describes looking down at him.
Correct.
Yeah, because I think his strength is with the sword.
So he's like,
So he's on the
he's like
ground.
hand-to-hand combat
Yes,
with them, essentially.
yes.
Okay. So then I said, is the rise like a mountain range? Because that's how I keep picturing it in my brain.
That's what I don't know. I feel like it was a man-made thing. Like, I pictured it as a man-made wall built around to protect them from that coming in. But
to make it harder for the Craven to get up.
said the same thing that you did, though, that it could be like natural mountains and hills. But it sounded like they could fall off the rise.
So, looking at the map, it doesn't show a mountain.
It doesn't?
No. But
So maybe it
shows,
is
like,
man-made
But
then.
I think it's just based off of assumption more than anything.
Interesting. See, I was always picturing like a mountain range when I was reading it.
Like, it's almost like those lines are the rise. Like, they drew...
It doesn't
like,
even really list it on
But
the
do you
map.
see
No.
those, like,
'Cause
blocks?
you can see, like, mountains over
Wouldn't
here.
this
Yeah.
be around Macedonia?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So maybe it is man-made, Manda. Maybe you're right. Huh. Interesting. Okay. I'm going to look
There's
into that.
an anime that I've seen recently, and that's what I picture. It's called Attack on Titan, and there's like they built walls
Like
to
a
protect
literal
them.
wall.
That's what I would. That's just what's in my head.
Maybe that is what it is. Because the the old servants' entrance that she uses to get outside, it leads directly to the rise. That would be weird for it to lead to a mountain.
Yeah.
But if it
True,
was
'cause
something
you'd have
man-made,
to like carve a cave through.
yeah, man-made would make more sense. I wonder if it is. Interesting. So then my next note says, "Oh snap, Hawk is here. How did he catch the blade?" So that's when she throws the blade at him, and he catches the actual blade piece, not the handle.
Yeah.
I'm telling you,
Blade.
he is, like, super speed.
And he can heal his hand that probably got cut because he's Atlantean.
Or, like, get the sharp part of the blade.
Listen, I didn't take physics.
But Atlantean, he's an Atlantean.
I would hope
I
you
don't have a blade. Sorry, guys. Left my shrouded
Like,
blade
if
at
I'm
home.
throwing this at you, like, if you grab it here, you're
Slice
gonna
your
get
fingers right
cut.
off.
Like, if you grab the edge, you're gonna slice. But if he grabbed, like, this...
You're going to have to describe for our listeners, friend.
I know. Okay, so I have, like, a...
So she has like a book in her hand. It's blue. It's not even a book. What is that? What do you have?
It's like a clipboard!
Okay, just so you don't think I'm crazy, this kind of appears like a book, right?
Yeah, totally.
It's a really large book. It's like...
Okay,
Anyway.
a rectangle-shaped object. Continue, Kristen.
With anything. Like, if he was gonna grab it and he grabbed the edge, so like if you think of a knife, like a kitchen knife, you have that sharp edge. So if he grabbed there, then yes, that sharp edge is going to cut into his palm. But I don't think it specifies how he grabs it. Like, if he grabs it from a different angle.
But I'm
Or from
thinking,
the
like,
other
is he, like,
side.
pincer grasping it with the two little pinky finger? Like, how
I
do
think
you
he's
not
just
touch...
badass. He's just badass.
Like, the whole blade is sharp, is it not? It's a fucking sword, not a butter knife.
Yeah, but if you catch it, like,
That's how I'm picturing. Like,
you'd
like
have
pincer
to.
grasp.
You'd
Yes.
have to.
So that nothing is touching the sharpie cutting
Yes.
part.
The cutty part.
Cutty
That's
part.
the technical term for that.
Thank you. Thank you. And then I said, I knew Hawk knew it was her. So this is when he admits to her
Yes.
that he
To
knew
know
who
from
she
knowing the whole
was.
time, right?
Yes.
I also loved their fight. Like, I loved that whole thing.
Same.
I
They're
put
little
No,
sparring back and
A+
forth.
banter.
I love a little sass.
So remind me, did he know it was her from the moment she revealed herself?
Yes, I think that's what he
from the
said.
moment in the Duke's office, he
Okay.
knew.
Yes,
Okay.
I think he says that specifically.
But prior to
Yeah.
that point, he did not.
Correct.
Okay, so when he was like, "I got her," when Victor had to go,
Yeah.
at that point
He
he
did
did
not.
not.
He didn't know.
Okay, and then
This is actually in 16.
is it?
Yeah.
No, it's not, because I wrote, "The maiden is sleeping. Doubtful. It's time for that talk, princess."
And then it goes.
And that's when the
16.
chapter ends into 16.
Yeah.
And then Kristen writes, "He knows."
That's literally all I have for 16. He knows.
So he kind
Because
of
16 starts off with the
alluded-
dagger.
He
Damn
alluded
it.
to it.
I've forgotten.
So I think he explains to her how he knew it was her, but I think in 15 it's mentioned that he knew it was her.
In 15, he says we need to have a talk.
Yeah. So,
But the talk doesn't actually. He alludes to the fact he knows, but he doesn't actually say he knows.
Correct.
Yes, because it says correction. You're in a Nice weapon, bloodstone and woven bone. Very interesting, princess.
Yes. So
also,
So dreamy.
on a side note, like, he calls her princess, and we have the Prince Castile.
yes.
I just clued into that because I forgot about Prince Castile.
Good point.
That's
Good point.
I forgot about that.
Maybe that's so interesting.
So,
Like, is Hawk our fake first love interest?
well, I'm just saying it. I said from the beginning, it seems too obvious. You know, maybe she learns all her firsts with him and then has her real love story with
the
Prince
Prince of-
Castile.
Or Hawk?
I would be so sad. I love Hawk.
I know.
I
do
know.
too.
I really like Hawk too.
I do too. Okay, so then chapter 16, I said, do we think that Hawk has a gift too? And that's how he knows all of this stuff.
Yes.
Yeah, I was gonna say you called that earlier too.
Yep. So now
Do.
I was starting to be sus of that. So what did your notes say on it?
He knows in capitals. That's it.
That was all that you had for 16.
That's all I had. He
I
knows.
love it.
Oh, that's all Kristen cared about in that moment.
Literally.
Okay, so then I
think
said,
I was at work when I was reading that.
oh, fair. So I said, we finally find out about her attack. 6 years old, poor Poppy. How did she survive without becoming Craven? So this is when she's telling Hawk her history, correct? And she says, like, she wasn't even 6. And I think it mentions, because you had asked something about the brother a minute ago, like, was he there? And I think it says
think it
something
was.
in that part about how, like, the maid took him away or something.
That's right. Yeah,
and
he was
locked him
involved in
a
the story.
room.
Yes, I think you're
It
right.
is mentioned where he is in that moment.
Yeah.
She didn't want to leave her mom because the
Yes, that's
Craven
absolutely right. You're
was
right.
going for the mom and she didn't want to leave. So then I wrote down, I put in quotes, you sound so much older than you are. And then I said, this seems like foreshadowing. What is Hawk? Atlantean!
Yeah, he's lived. Because they'll always say, like, how many years they've lived, right? Like 2 decades
Yeah,
or
he's
something.
in his third decade
Yes.
or whatever. Yes. Okay, so now we're in 17, and she says so in 17, does it say her telling her story?
I'm thinking so, because I also wrote, did the queen send the Craven after Poppy and her family? And that the comments of him calling
So
her
interesting, you
violent.
thought the queen might have sent the Craven, and Katie was thinking maybe the queen saved her from said Craven.
Or, like, did the king send the Craven, and then the queen saved her?
Interesting.
Like, to put a stop to the attack?
Yeah.
Or, like, she just heard about it?
Or I kind of wondered if they let her go and then they sent the Craven to, like, hurt but not kill, so
To
that
send a
she's
message
now in
type.
their debt. Like now Poppy's like, oh, like, the queen saved me. Like,
There's no
did the
good.
queen create that situation to give herself, like, god
She
power?
was both the bad guy and the
Yeah,
hero.
'cause-
My next thing says, Poppy, you're important to me not because you're the maiden, but because you're you. And then I went, oh, Victor.
That's
He's bound,
18.
duty
This is
bound.
18?
He's duty bound to her.
Victor. We're talking Victor, her daddy.
Victor.
Not Hawk.
Oh shit.
We're talking her father, not her
Never
daddy.
mind. That's funny.
Sorry.
Sorry, I'm
Okay, so
confused.
this is when Victor is training. her.
Yes.
So this is the first time we get to see the training happen. It's
Yes,
talked about,
yes.
but this is the first time we see it.
Yes.
Okay. And then I wrote, this Duke is an ass, basically blaming people for the attack. I hate him. So this is during the speech.
in front of all the people. You have failed them, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah, because, like, he was essentially insinuating the people, like that couple that asked to keep
Yes.
their kid.
Yes.
Like, they're doubting the right, and it's their
Yes.
fault that this is happening. And blah,
I
blah,
wrote,
blah.
I hate the fear mongering.
Yes.
That's
I
exactly
hate
what's
that they're
happening,
driving
yeah.
that into them.
Yes. So essentially, they're like, do what we say, or the gods will punish us.
Yes.
Yeah.
And this was a
Because
punishment.
we talk to the gods and we know what they want
Right.
and what they think.
And this Craven attack was a punishment because you guys didn't listen, and you guys are doubting.
And you were
us.
doubting, yeah.
Okay.
I also was like, what or why does Hawk have such a calming effect on Poppy? It must be mentioned, like, when he joins them, that, like, she felt calmer.
Suddenly she's like, oh, thank God. We're good.
It's her center of gravity.
Right? He says, what was the thing I said, but I said at Victor's point? Duty bound.
Oh,
Because
yeah.
he's duty bound.
Because they're gonna be lovers. So Hawk's commentary during the speech, and then I missed somewhere along the way that her gift is only able to identify pain, though it does look like now that's changing. I wonder
Yes.
if Hawk has a similar gift as her, but it is more developed, which is why he knew she was scared or when she was lying.
Yeah. Because, like, so I think the reason I caught on to it was she's starting to feel the panic and anxiety and, like, adrenaline is flooding her system. Victor says something, she's like, yes, no, I don't know.
Yeah.
And the Duke continues speaking, and then Hawk says, "This is perhaps the least calming speech ever given after an attack." And his comment jarred me out of my spiral and panic, the utter dryness of his words cutting into the cord that connected me to the people. So it's like her senses reeled back after that, and she
snapped the connection.
She suddenly felt nothing but her pounding heart and the sweat. So he
just basically because of his presence, and
like his just
talking,
a simple
like
comment seemed to like reel her back so much.
Interesting.
So I feel like there's something there.
Something there.
Okay, so I wrote a comment here saying, I know it seems a little crazy, this is one of my theories, but I can't shake the feeling that the dissenters or whatever are actually going to end up being the good guys. The fact that their chant is the name of the book just seems to be pointing in that direction to me at this point.
Mm-hmm.
I also wrote the same. I was like, are the blonde men and the others like rebels with the dark one?
Yes.
And then
I wrote the craven hand throwing up emoji.
I had the Duke and Duchess feel corrupt makes me wonder if the dark one is bad.
Yes.
Like, I was really starting to wonder more and more again there.
Yeah. Okay, so now which chapter are we going into?
19.
Okay.
And that's when they are ushered back into the building.
Right, because he threw the hand.
All
upheaval takes place. Loose, okay. Yeah. I love that Tanya is now also calling Poppy Princess.
I know.
Sure, whatever you say, Princess.
Amazing.
And she like walks away, and I'm like, oh,
like,
I love her.
it.
Yeah. And then I said, when they talk about the Ascended, they always mention that their eyes are completely black. This comes across as very creepy to me, further cementing my thoughts that they are going to end up being bad guys.
I think this is kind of ahead of that, but like the third and fourth children, like I think she talks about it again.
Oh, does she?
Yeah, this is when we're talking about like Hawk is like none of those children have been seen. Like, it wouldn't be surprised me if more people thought along the same lines as the tools or whatever. And I wrote, like, it feels naive of Poppy to think that way. Like, she's like, oh, like, do they not just, I think she kind of thinks like, oh, do they not just trust? Like, no one should make claims to that without any evidence. Like, they shouldn't make claims that, like
just trust blindly.
Yeah.
No,
she's saying
saying they shouldn't say what happened to the children. They have no evidence anything bad's happened.
Right.
To
She's
them.
saying people should just trust blindly.
Panic that the dissenters have created and then will exploit. And I'm like, this feels naive of her to think.
Yeah.
You need to like take a step back. Like, you haven't seen people in years. It's not.
Yeah.
Especially when you know, like, the Duke isn't a great guy.
Yeah,
like, you know,
like,
you think you would have
to not trust him.
Yes.
So I'm jumping ahead, I think, because my next notes start talking about her meeting with the Duchess. So does anything happen before?
That's what I jumped to.
Okay. So I wrote, does anyone else pick up that the Duchess seems to feel a little scared at hearing that Penelope,
yes.
whatever her name is, gift is growing, and the way that she can't feel anything but a void when she uses her gift on the Ascended. It just seems creepy. Evil people.
I have like Duchess not feeling anything. Something to do with being ascended.
Yes.
It was the first time the Duchess seemed also evil. Like, she always kind of seemed like maybe he's just bad, like, oblivious. And she's, but it was like, I think she has a hand in all of this.
Yeah.
Too.
Yeah. And then I said she seems oddly relieved that Poppy couldn't feel anything from her. Maybe eventually Poppy's gift will grow to be able to be something that the Duchess is scared of. That will grow to be something that the Duchess is now afraid of.
Yeah.
Alarm bells ring when the Duchess says, "Don't tell the Duke about the expanding gift." Because she says, like, don't tell him, like, it'll anger him because of what happened to the previous
But what's weird about that, if this is what is supposed to happen, why would it anger him?
Yeah.
Do you get what I'm saying? Like, if they knew this was going to happen, if it's part of the gift growing, it would have to. They would know, your gift is growing.
If she ascends, does that stop the gift from
growing?
That's
what I think. Because it's essentially...
Like, was she supposed to ascend, like, the gift wasn't supposed to expand yet?
Got you.
And she was supposed to ascend before it got to that
So
point.
that's why it's scaring them. Because they're like, oh my gosh, she's getting stronger. Like, we have to stop this.
Got you.
And then I said, the Duchess just going all Hulk and smashing the chair during their meeting. So I'm trying to remember what happened at that point.
I don't remember that.
So I think she was like standing behind the chair and listening to her and like grips it.
Oh yeah, the chair cracked under her hand, startling me.
Yes.
Super strength?
She was found unworthy by the gods.
Well, she's ascended.
Yeah.
Right, so...
Yeah.
So is this when she's telling the story about the previous maiden?
No.
No?
It just says, like, we don't...
So this is
her actions put her on a path that ended with her death. The Dark One killed, sorry.
Okay. And then...
she's like, if it were possible, I'd have her name and her history scrubbed in its entirety and the chair cracked beneath her hands.
Yeah.
So then I wrote, why do we think that the Dark One was the one that killed the last maiden? If she was ascended, I thought they were immortal, which is why they tried to kidnap Poppy before her ascension. Also, how have there only been 2 maidens, I think I'm still a little confused as to what differentiates her from a regular Ascended.
Yeah.
I think ladies in wait versus maiden in wait. I think we're
But, like,
getting...
is she more powerful when she's Ascended?
I think so. I don't know why or how, but that's the...
Like, this is where I'm still kind of...
Because she has a gift right now that nobody else has. So she's
Right.
already on a next level.
Right.
But I think there's an assumption that amazing things are going to happen when she's Ascended.
Yeah.
But that we're thinking...
I wonder if
gonna
it's just
stop.
something they're creating, too. Like, they made up the maiden.
Because no one has even told her what's going to happen to her after
Right.
she
Yeah.
ascended.
Right.
After she ascends.
And I also have, like, why can't they talk about the first maiden? Like, you think talking about it would stop history from repeating itself.
Right.
Or, like, do they clearly not want... Like, do they clearly want to scrub history to, like...
Because they
get
know the
Poppy
truth.
to do what they want to do.
Yeah.
Right. Yes. Yes. Okay. So now I have chapter 20. So I said new crockpot theory. Crackpot theory, I think this is when I'm voice to text. So
No crackpot.
Sorry. I said, what if the thing that the last maiden did was break her maidenhood with the Duke, which is why the Duchess is getting so angry or scared that Poppy is developing in the same way. So I don't know.
Like almost an affair type?
Kind of,
deal?
yeah. But again, crackpot. As we're talking out, I don't think that's...
I don't think I ever caught that.
But that was a thought that I had came across my brain.
Because we don't know how long ago the first maiden was.
Yeah, but they live forever. They're old AF.
It was in the time of the Duke and Duchess because the Duke would be...
Because they remember
upset.
Yeah. Again, crackpot. It just came to my head. And then I said, Hawk coming from the islands that used to be an Atlantean stronghold. Maybe Hawk is Atlantean, and maybe jumping back to one of my original theories, Poppy is too, and that's why they both have similar gifts.
Yeah. I also continued to write more about, like, I'm more suspicious of the Dark One and what happened with the first maiden, given how they can't talk about her. Like, I really think, like, I don't think she was killed. I think she went off with the Dark One.
Yeah,
something, yeah.
Like something happened there.
She gonna save the day. Yeah, because it
on
mentions
that
that the village, I can't remember which one it was, but the islands that he came from used to be an Atlantean stronghold.
Yeah. I loved them connecting. Yeah, Solis. Because he's saying how, like, he came from Solis and, like, he was correcting the priestess on
the
how it was
pronunciation.
said. Yeah.
Yes. And then I said the priestess is all legasp about the comparison of ascenting and Atlanteans. It's legit the same thing. Like how she was all mad about like the blood rights
Like,
and
how
stuff.
dare you? They're taking it by force.
Yeah.
Versus, you're probably killing babies for
Yeah.
years. But again, theory, but still.
I think you're onto something. And then I said, Hawk to the rescue, about time someone stood up for Poppy.
Yes.
Remove your hand, and then I put in quotes, remove your hand before I take action against your threat to the maiden. And I'm like, yes, Hawk!
Yes.
Because that was when she was about to slap Poppy,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
Yeah.
And
just
I
read
don't
this, I
think
remember.
we have experienced, like, as far as we've read, Hawk hasn't been punished for that yet.
Not yet.
No.
Neither of them have.
They
because
know
this is-
about it. Like, I think there's a comment made.
It's hinted at it, like,
yeah,
he
the
knows.
Duke is disappointed.
Yes,
Yeah.
I feel okay.
Yeah. And then I
Oh,
wrote,
that's right, because asshole guy says it in the crowd.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, Lord Asshole. Yeah. And then I said, where was it? I in quotes, I don't care if she slaps like a baby mouse. And I went, LOL, Hawk, I love you. Because she's saying, like, oh, it doesn't matter, like, this stuff happens, like, whatever. And he's like, I don't care.
Yes.
It should not happen.
Yeah. So I said, if you have to ask that question, you don't know me at all. And that was in quotes, but I don't remember what he's talking about. I said, God, I love him.
It was something
Like, if you
like
care
doing
about
the-
me as a person or because you're my duty bound. And then I wrote, God, I love him. And then I said, another mention of his golden eyes. This has to mean something.
Yeah.
So it was mentioned in that description again. And then Hawk asking if she would run away from her ascension, saying why her life sucks so much. And I put, like, the little teary-eyed emoji.
I love that you've got emojis built into your
I
notes.
just had to capture the moment, you know? Then I put in quotes, Victor is like how I imagined my father would be if he was still alive. I am like Victor's daughter who never got to take a breath. And then I said, did I miss something? Did Victor lose his kid? That's where it was. Remember we were talking about at the beginning?
I feel like it does say something about him having a wife at one point.
So, like, did she lose a baby or something,
Yeah,
maybe?
I'm assuming she lost a baby.
Yes, and then I put, are you excited to see the right? Poppy's asking him, and he says, I'm curious, ... I'm excited to see you. And then I put Hawk and then a little teary emoji.
Yeah. I said, I'm curious to see you.
Oh my god.
Oh, I love him. I love him. Love, love, love.
For 20.
Let's see. I think I still have some more. I said, is Hawk aware of her gift? Do we think that he sensed that when she touched him? So what?
Yeah, I think he knew something happened, but he doesn't understand where it
Because
came from.
he was like really sad talking about his
brother, and then he was like, he didn't die.
Because it says, like, he hesitated for a moment and then nodded. Neither of us spoke as we made our way. Apparently, Hawk was trying to figure out why he felt happier, lighter, and I was left wondering exactly why. What exactly had happened to his brother to cause that kind of reaction, especially if his brother was still alive.
So this is when he's talking about his brother, and he says that his brother's not dead, because she assumes he is, but this is when she finds out he's not.
Yeah, because he seems really sad, and she, like, extends her
And he
gift.
said, I lost my brother, or something, but he didn't say because he died. Like,
yes.
Yeah.
Maybe because he went over to the bad side.
Yeah.
Maybe.
And then I said, if Hawk's brother didn't die, why is he so sad about it? Was his brother taken by the right?
Oh, or that.
That was...
But, like, I feel like to have a strong, sad emotion, if he had that, he would have had to know his brother. And if the kids are taken young...
Right.
So, like, maybe he did go over to the dark side, or, like, something happened, or, like, maybe he's in prison. Like,
maybe he, like, can't find him, and he's in the forest, so he lost him.
And that's why he wanted to come to the big city.
Because he's lost.
And then chapter 21, I wrote, Poppy reading Spice, laughing emoji.
Oh, that was so funny.
I didn't even make a comment.
Oh, I just thought it was so funny.
It was funny.
But
did you skip the whole her being and listening to the Duke's?
That's happening right now.
Chapter.
So my next thing says eavesdropping on the window ledge. Are they talking about the blonde guy? Has he been ascended before? So remind me what the conversation happened during the...
They're definitely talking about that blonde guy.
I know, but why did I wrote, had he been ascended before?
That I have no idea.
They were
what
talking
you're
about the dissenter, the one who'd been thrown the craven hand. They've investigated his family. The mom claims he's never met the Dark One nor believes him to be within the city. And you believed him. He's not an Atlantean. This has been confirmed.
So maybe that was just something I...
Yeah, I'm it's not ringing any bells for me on that.
Okay. And then I said, the blonde guy helped someone die with dignity, which is how he got the craven hand. See, Atlanteans can be the good guys. So...
But he's not an Atlantean. It's confirmed.
So they say.
So they say.
I said, so the Duke is going to go kill the blonde dude. That's my theory.
Yeah.
I also wrote, based on this, I'm curious if and how Poppy's thoughts on the Descenders will change.
Yeah.
Because
of they have the similar goal or whatever of helping people die with dignity. And then I said, of course Hawk knows that Poppy is out there, LOL.
Again, his gift with speed and everything.
So you wouldn't know this because you didn't listen to the audiobook, but there's this point, and I don't know if you picked up on it, but I found it highly amusing. He pops his head out to look at her, and he goes, hi? It's like the way that he says it. Yeah, like... hi? And he says, get down here now. And she says, well, you could just say please. Like, I just love their banter.
Yeah. I know. I think I wrote, like, the build-up.
Yeah.
Did it explain how he knew that's where she was?
No, it's never explained.
He says he's an excellent tracker.
Like, maybe that's a part of his gift.
Yeah. I think
once he, like, knows or has someone connection with someone, because he always shows up randomly at, like, the right effing time.
I wonder, like, if he is Atlantean or Wolven, like, if he has that gift.
Tracking.
Like, scent.
To, like, someone he's connected to.
If he could feel, like, you have scenting dogs. Yeah. Like, is it something similar to that?
And if he's Wolven and has this duty-bound whatever to her.
Yes.
Yeah, buddy. Yeah, buddy. I think so. I think we're onto something, friends. And so I said, this is not the first time that Hawk's speed is mentioned as he pulls her down. Superhuman speed? Atlantean speed?
Oh my god.
And then I said, Amber Eyes mentioned again, just saying. Do we know the color of anyone else's eyes? But we do. But just saying, it keeps getting mentioned. And then I said, kiss her, Hawk! All in capitals. And that's how my chapter summary ends for that chapter.
Mine ends with the build-up.
And then mine starts, chapter 22, kiss her already!
I just wrote, I love Hawk sass.
And I said, Hawk, you friggin' tease.
That's so
this is when she thinks it's gonna happen and it doesn't. And then I said, I'm surprised that she told him about her escape route. So this is how he asks, how'd you get out here? And she says that it's the escape route.
I think because she really starts to trust him, and she's like, like, he's not gonna turn her in, like she always, even like Victor's like suspicion, she's like, no, I know. Like, it's like she has this gut feeling that she trusts.
Because they're both Atlantean. That's my theory. The Dark One is totally gonna find out her secret passage, isn't he? Just like some foreshadowing. So, like, I wondered if that's maybe how he'll...
Could he be the Dark One?
No.
Hawk?
Is there
I don't think
any
so.
chance that
I mean, I guess technically he could be, but
There's
I
always
don't...
a chance.
It's a non-zero chance. I don't know. Could be. We don't know.
So you're saying
I don't think so. Yeah. So you're saying I don't think so, but maybe. And then I put Hawk coming to check on her, knowing that she wanted company. So that's how he knew she was gone, right? He came in to see if she wanted company and she wasn't in there. And I was like, oh, that's so cute.
And then he just sent it her way because he's a woman.
Yeah, right? And he just followed
Something.
the trail. And then I put, I'm surprised when she said that Victor doesn't check on her when he's on duty. I was kind of surprised by that because they seem to have like a very like loving relationship, and I was like, he doesn't ever like come hang out with her like how Hawk was going to.
I wonder if he's too scared to lose her though,
and like break
if
the rule.
he's too scared that if he got caught doing that because he's not supposed to,
He wouldn't be the guard anymore.
He wouldn't be the guard anymore, and then
he's
how
also
would he
not
see...
supposed to train her, and he does. He breaks that rule.
That's true.
Yeah, but they
That's
can
like life or
sneak
death.
down to.
I guess.
Like they can sneak down there, whereas like if he is suddenly missing outside her door all the time, that might be a little more obvious. I mean, he's probably missing outside her door anyway.
Yeah.
Unless they train one like Ryland's guarding or Hawk is guarding.
Yeah, true.
Good point.
Okay, so I said Hawk is all curious about how she got here when I'm sitting here thinking, how did he find her?
Hey, I'm like, how'd you get here, guy?
Right? I'm like, it sounds like this library is not in the castle. They keep talking about going through the city. So how did he know where she went? Because, like, they kept describing, like, oh, I had my hood up. Like, anyone looking out a window wouldn't see me. Blah, blah, blah. Oh, maybe I was on the same thoughts as you. So I said, we don't think Hawk is the Dark One, do we? Maybe that's how we find out that Atlanteans are actually the good guys. LOL. So I guess I was on your thought
Maybe
process.
he's the Dark
He does
One,
say, like...
inside good, and all of these bad things are the Duke and Duchess trying to stage as if the Dark One's coming in evilly instead of nicely trying to expose.
Because he does also say, I don't think the Dark One has survived as long as he has by letting his whereabouts be widely known, even by his most favorite supporters. Like, is that him saying that as him?
And I'm not so
Amanda,
stupid
you might be onto something. You might be onto something.
Prince whatever the heck.
Castile.
Castile just sounds so fancy.
She said that he seems to have lived a lot of years.
Yeah.
That Prince has been around a while.
Hawk taking the book. I'll give it back if you read it to me. LOL.
So good.
Because she still had the spicy
So
book at this
good.
point. And then I said, Hawk was in love a very long time ago, maybe because he's older than he looks, because he's Atlantean!
Right.
Or if the
Or the
first
Dark
maiden
One.
did die, was that his first?
His first lover?
Yeah. Like, did they kill the first maiden? Instead of, like, maybe, like the king or queen or whoever, like, the good guys killed the first maiden.
Maybe.
And, like, the
She
Dark
is
One
the first maiden and is reincarnate every so many years. That's why he's duty bound to her, maybe. And she doesn't realize she was the first maiden. And maybe this is going to awaken in her.
And that's why the queen was so scared, because
she's going to
showing all
learn.
the same.
And that's why they don't want anyone to know about the first maiden, because maybe it could potentially jog her memory and she can become like awakened to the fact that that was her
And what happened
once
in
upon
that
a
life.
time.
Do we know what...
So he is in love with her as a Dark One.
Yeah.
Do we know how long ago the first maiden lived?
I don't think
Is
so.
that ever
I don't think
mentioned? Okay. And then I said Hawk reading the spice book out loud. LOL.
Is he in this book, do you think? Did they talk about...
No, because it's not...
Was this person well before Hawk would be here? Like, there's no way that Hawk was with this lady in this book.
I don't
think
so.
Because for some reason I thought that someone had mentioned that. Like, when Tawny was talking about the book, I
think
thought
Lauren and them do.
Oh, maybe Hawk is in the book, too.
Yeah, maybe they do
maybe.
mention that. But I don't...
So I'm like, oh my God,
I don't know
is
if it's
that going to
confirmed.
be a thing?
Okay, maybe.
I thought while he was reading that was going to happen. He's going to be like, oh my God, this is me. And then it was going to be really
Yeah, because I think I maybe thought of that.
So then I said I knew Lord Mazine was guilty. So at the start of chapter 23, that must be when the Jasmine is brought back up again, correct?
Not quite, because I think before that happens,
it's in this.
Doesn't Victor step away because that lady comes and
No,
says, I
it
need to
happens
talk
after.
to her? Oh.
That's after.
So yeah, immediately chapter 23, he smelled of something else then, something sweet and musky. Jasmine. He'd smelled of jasmine.
Yeah. So there we go. Okay.
Because they're like, you're due for another lesson, and then she's like, Jasmine.
And then she wants to vomit.
And then Victor says, excuse me, no need to run off.
And then he leaves, correct? Like Mazine leaves? At that point? He's like, no need to run off, I'm leaving, or whatever?
Yeah, I'll be on my way now, enjoy the rite. And with that, he slipped around us and left.
So then I wrote, do we think that Agnes knows that Lord Mazine is a bad guy?
Yes, and he's going to do something, I feel like.
Yeah, I think so.
That's why she's trying to warn her.
Yeah.
Is that him specifically?
And Agnes is the lady of the wife that she helped, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Because I was like, who is
Why
Agnes?
she won't say something in front of Victor, though, is beyond me. Because he was a part of the one helping her. Like,
do we think that Agnes knows Lord Mazine is a bad guy, and that's what alerted to her when she saw him talking to Poppy?
I think
yeah.
So that's
because
why
I wrote.
she came over.
I wondered about Mazine being ascended, and then I scratched it out because I got it wrong. I'm like, he already is ascended, evil.
yes.
I said, do we find it suspicious that both Hawk and Duke are missing from the rite ceremony when they were both supposed to be there?
Yes,
the
but
Duke
Hawk
never does
shows
show
up.
up.
Duke does not. Right?
Not during the actual rite.
So
Hawk
didn't
shows
you
up
think that
after.
they were being punished or like something? Remember how like
Yeah.
He doesn't
could
like
that?
Yeah,
but he doesn't
I don't
allude
think
to
he's
it.
punished. I just don't.
I
know,
just thought it was funny.
Well, I wonder too because then we get into like the Tulis aren't there, like the ones that are asked for their child.
Yes.
And I'm wondering like was Hawk helping them get? Did Hawk help them get out of the city?
Oh.
Like did he help them get out? And was he
Interesting.
like he was doing like rebel things?
And
He
the
took
Duke
him
was
over to
trying
the Atlanteans, I bet.
Yeah.
Oh, good thought. So then where would the Duke be? Why wouldn't the Duke have been there? What are
because
our
he knew the
thoughts?
family wasn't there. Maybe they were looking
he was
for
trying to
them,
stop
searching
them?
for the family.
Or was
at
he
the-
killing the blonde guy at that point?
But would that be worth missing the right over? Can you just kill him before or after?
Yeah.
True.
Could they be like, oh my god, the Tool family's not here. We better find them because it's gonna
I
look
don't think-
really bad if we say nope. You guys have to do this, and they don't show up, and our kingdom's gonna fall if that happens. So he's maybe.
I don't think that
searching
would
their
have
home.
been a good enough reason for the Duke to leave. He would have had his guards do that.
Yeah.
That's fair.
I don't like. It's suspicious that
It's just-
the Duke
yeah,
wasn't there.
it's
It
just
is.
suspicious.
It's very.
But I feel
Especially
like it's
because-
something big.
And the Duchess didn't seem to know why. Like
Yeah.
she also seemed to
She
be
was,
looking
like
for him.
pacing and
Yeah.
being like.
So
Yeah.
something is
Yeah.
there. Something is going on there.
Yeah.
And then I said, I may have to go back and check the chapter, but when they say she is out in the gardens with Rylan and the arrow attack was about to happen, didn't she say we got a tingling feeling on the back of her neck like someone was watching her? And now she gets the same thing right before Hawk appeared at the rite. Ooh. And then I said, Atlantean? Atlantean? But I never did go back and check.
Chapter 6.
Okay, so what if so we know that the Duke went to go kill
Blonde
that
guy.
blonde guy.
Yeah.
And this Agnes lady
Yeah.
went to go warn the maiden,
Yeah.
Penelope. Could something have happened to the Duke? Could there have been an orchestrated, we know the Duke's going to come here, so then maybe there was an attack orchestrated on the Duke that she knew about because she's a part of the rebels?
Oh.
And then, so she's just giving a warning because she knows, like, the war has begun kind of thing, potentially?
Maybe. Like, she's like, shit's about to go down, get out of here kind of deal?
Maybe.
Yeah, because she does say, like, I don't think it's safe for you to be
Yeah,
here.
yeah. Interesting. So, did you pull up chapter?
I'm looking for it right now.
Because...
I never caught on to that the tingling feeling had happened before.
I don't think I did either.
And
I know she's felt it before, though, when Hawk approaches.
Mm-hmm.
Like, every time he approaches, she's like, I immediately know it's him.
I think that was the first time I had connected it to him.
Because it happens when he steps forward to protect her before he's her guard. Like, anytime he kind of steps forward, she's like, I know it's him without looking.
So I wonder...
Do you think that is a testament to her gift getting better, or it's a testament to the fact that he's an Atlantean or some other being?
I think it's
you know what I'm
something to
saying?
do with him or, like, them.
Yeah.
Because they're both
Myself.
Atlantean. They're both Atlantean. And then I said, Amber Eyes mentioned again. I'm going to start calling it an Amber Eye alert. LOL, maybe not that. That sounds bad.
Oh, that's funny, though.
And I said, Poppy's gift is now also sensing attraction, and I'm going to guess the lemon means more of like a bitterness, because I think she had described someone in the crowd having like a lemony tang to their emotion.
Yep.
And I said, I know she said she thought it may have to do with apprehension, but I also think of like a bitter tasting lemon. Maybe he's bitter because he can't have her and he wants her.
I don't see anything
I also
about, like,
wouldn't consider
feeling...
lemon bitter. It's more sour.
I guess that's true. That is.
But very similar, though. Something's like bitter or sour, you're kind of like, oh.
You're like,
It's
like
the
that
same
face,
kind of like,
you know,
no,
like,
thank you.
Yeah.
Don't like that.
I don't see anything
Oh my god.
In chapter 6 about like a tingling feeling before.
No? Okay. All right. I might
So
have...
you just made it up.
It's very possible. It's
Like,
very
'cause
possible.
it's very sudden.
Like, what... Did you find the part where Ryland's actually shot?
Yeah, like, it's only a few moments passed, then the sun went down. Night blossoming roses. Closing my eyes, I inhaled the faintly sweet scent. They're most fragrant upon their opening at dawn. They're quite beautiful, Ryland commented. They remind me, his words ended in a strangled grunt. Eyes flying open, I spun around, and a scream of horror knotted in my throat as Ryland staggered back, an arrow protruding from his chest.
Okay. Maybe...
And then he's like, run, he gasped. Blood trickling, run.
Maybe I just...
I got goosebumps again.
imagined that.
Poor
Then.
Ryland.
It's very possible. It's very possible. And so... What is typed in my notes says Park, but I'm assuming that was supposed to be Hawk. Again, this is when Siri is typing for me. So Hawk is trying to help her overcome her PTSD by going over to the garden. It's just the cutest thing. So this is when he's like, you need to replace the scary memories with good memories of that place. I know, I'm like...
Or I'm actually evil and I'm going to go murder you in the place that we tried to the first time. Just kidding.
No!
I would be heartbroken.
No!
I would probably stop reading the book.
No, but
that happens, done.
But he may kidnap her and take her back to Atlantia where the kid is.
I think she'd go willingly, honestly.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah.
And then her wondering how he knows she feels lonely. And I said, it's because he has a gift too. I am sure of this.
Do you know what's interesting? If he is actually either evil, bad, and wants to take her to the bad people, or he is good but thinks like has to take her
to the
this
revolution.
is the time to do it.
Yep.
Everyone's at the right.
Yep.
Nobody
Yeah.
expects them to be.
Yep.
No one's going to be stopping
Yeah.
them.
Yup. And I said, this is the absolute worst spot to stop. I cannot wait to record this podcast so that I can finish the second half and find out what happens on their date.
So what do you think happens? What's your...
I think he's going to take her to Atlantia or to Atlantis or whatever you want to call it.
What do you think, Kristen? Do you have what you think is...
I don't like this. To me doesn't feel like cliffhanger-ish. I know something could happen, but like it's like the middle of the book. Like,
Listen, we had to wait weeks, so it was a cliffhanger for us, okay? What I think is going to happen is that...
I think he eventually
What
will.
if the Duke is there dead?
Ooh, that would be nice.
I don't think the Duke is dead yet. Like,
Probably
I think
not,
he's
I know.
too big of a
We'd be
not
not that lucky.
Antagonist.
Yeah, he needs to be in the story right now to have there be a real bad guy. Him and
shit.
Mattel or Mateus or...
I think what's going to happen, this is my theories, because we're now at the end of where we're covering for this chapter. I'm sorry, this podcast has gone on a really long time. We like to talk. Sorry. But what I think is going to happen is that he's going to take her out because he has mentioned numerous times, no one knows you're you. You're wearing the red
out,
dress.
we're saying, like, to the Red
Yes.
Pearl or somewhere,
Yes.
like, not in the
He's
castle.
going to take her somewhere, and this is where we find out that the bad guys are actually not the bad guys, they're the good guys, and we're going to find out what Hawk is. I think it's going to be, he knows he can trust her now, and it's going to be like the eye-opening experience, and then I think this is where the story is going to now shift into defeating the bad guys.
Yeah.
My thoughts.
I can see that happening because, like, I can see, I can't see him taking her, and if he knows that she's going to be open and receptive to this, why not have a bug inside?
That's true.
That's true, too. That's true, too.
And she's so close to her ascension at this point that twist and plot of whatever it is, because I would like to say either she's not going to ascend.
No, I don't think so.
Or if she does, it's going to happen in a different way, but that's going to be the real turning point of the story. Like, and that's happening very soon. So I
feel like if she's going to be taken, she'll be taken like the day of her ascension. Like that's when they will. That's like when they will like call in. Yeah,
to rescue her.
Yeah.
Interesting. All right. Well, now we're allowed to read the second half of this book. So
I also was like talking about like the cover imagery. It's kind of hard for you guys.
Oh
to
yeah,
see.
yeah. You had notes. You had
but
Can
I look at it?
Yeah. It's a bow and a sword crossed, and I'm like, is that like Hawk and Poppy? Because
does Hawk use a sword? We know Victor does.
Yeah,
right?
he has a sword on his back in the first one, doesn't he?
I thought the book on the front of the cover was her dagger that she keeps sheathed. That's what I thought.
But it's too big compared to the arrow.
True. Yeah, I think he has a broadsword. I think they
talk about a broadsword on his back.
Because I remember thinking of Zelda. I was like,
you
broadsword.
So funny. Do you want to see?
Yeah, I've seen it. I have it on the...
So, like, I think that's them, or it's something, like, them being crossed means something.
It's symbolic.
Symbolic.
Way,
And then there's, like, the red leaves. You can't see it on my Kindle screen because it's black and white.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, is that, like, blood? And then there's, like, a tree in the background. I'm like, I want to know more about...
That's the ash tree, I think, right? didn't they mention something about an ash tree?
Yeah.
The sword had to be made of a bloodstone and an ash tree.
So that's what the blood and
or
ashes
something.
are
Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah.
And then what was the quote? I know we talked about it, but I don't remember now. What was the quote about what the
From
descendants
blood
say?
and ash we will rise.
Yeah.
From blood and ash we shall rise.
So like
From the bloodstone in this tree.
Yeah, I feel like
Something.
yeah.
they're not bad
Something.
friends. I
No.
don't think so.
I don't think so.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's all I got.
Excited to read the rest of this book and find out what happens. Because I think it's going to start getting into that part now.
Yes.
So, you guys don't know this because we're trying to get a stockpile of audiobooks recorded. So this is going to come out regular scheduled for you. But for us, we're going to be recording it in about 2 weeks from now. But you'll get it like right away. That's what the cover looks like, Amanda.
Okay, yeah. So very red leaves that must be from the ash tree.
Yes.
And
Yes.
I think so.
This is going to be a really dumb question. Is an ash tree a real tree?
Yes.
And are the
I was
leaves...
going to say, I don't know.
Are the leaves actually red, or is that just because in
Google
the
it,
fall that
Kristen.
happens? Oh my God! What this idiot doesn't know?
Kristen's the one with the laptop here, so anytime we're asking for physical references, she's got it for
I
us.
don't know.
Looks like
this
they
could
do
be a
turn
dagger.
red in-
This could be
I
a
felt it
dagger.
looked like a dagger. I thought it looked like a dagger.
Because if you think the handle would be about the size of your hand, that means it goes to about here.
Yeah. I thought it was dagger, but it might not
But
be.
it might not. It's so hard to tell.
So when I think broadsword, I think like as big as like your torso.
Yeah. It does look more like a dagger. No, looking at it like in color, it does
Yeah.
look more like a dagger.
Yeah, I think it looks like a dagger. I
But
thought it was
my
hers.
arm immediately went, or my mind immediately went like sword and arrow.
Just back up. So we're still trying to figure out the bugs of this podcast. You know, we've never done one before. We're trying to figure out what works, what doesn't work. So we'd love to hear your feedback, your comments, things you'd like us to do, things you'd like us to stop doing. So Amanda, do you want to give the people our email?
Yes, ma'am. You can send us an email at yourbookmarkpod@gmail.com. You can also follow us on pretty much every social. It is at yourbookmarkpod on all of them. So please comment there. And like Katie said, like if there's something you really, really liked about what we talked about and how we got into things, let us know. If there's something that you'd like us to, like, hey, could you talk more about this or that? Please, please, please send us information and we will tune this to, you know, what the listeners want to
Or even like
hear.
book recommendations.
Yes, for what we want to cover next.
Feedback like might not, it won't happen immediately. Katie said we're gonna have like a stockpile of ones that we'll kind of release due to just life circumstances and everything, and so it may not happen immediately, but like we will
Eventually we're going to get to a point where we are recording and releasing weekly.
Yeah.
And so our comment section, like we could answer questions, we could read reviews or whatever, like live on
it'll
live,
be
but, like,
relevant to that time.
Yes.
Like
Yeah.
today is
So-
April 10th.
Yeah, it is
No, it's not. It's the 12th.
April 12th of 2025.
Right? So this is how early
Yeah, we are
we're
hoping
doing this, but
to-
just so we know what we're doing.
Yes.
So that by the time this hits the streets, right, we can then be more relevant to you. We understand
more
how it
confident
goes.
what we're doing.
Yes, because we want to figure out what we want this to look like and what our listeners want to take from this. So yeah, please reach out any way you prefer to, and we will definitely read it all. So
I have a feeling we're going to obsess over it a little bit. Like we will read it and be like, "Did you believe this? This is blah blah. What do we do?"
I mean, we literally just spent like over 2.5 hours, almost 3 hours on 23 chapters.
yeah, so buckle up, kids. We really like talking. So
I hope you listened to us that whole time.
if you are still listening, gold star, my friends. But until then, we'll chat with you guys at our next chapter.
Bye.